professionally trained to help you. Get connected to resources and benefits at no cost. Just call 866-4AZ-BETS now. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
No one else does what I do in diamonds. Hi, Diamond Dave Cantor, the only wholesale diamond dealer open to you by appointment. I import diamonds directly from cutters from around the world. We have the lowest overhead office of anyone in the diamond business. No one else with fourth generation connections, direct diamond importing, and design and manufacturing works directly with you except me.
No one else can do what Diamond Dave does. Call him today at 480-397-2450. Reach him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Kantor.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome on Friday. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, there it is. Welcome everybody to Friday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. It's like I had a concert right here in my office. As we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And right over there, that is the man, the myth, the legend, Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar. Next to him, the sexiest man in sports talk radio, that's Keon Rose. You are texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580 as we have a Friday on hand for you here on the Daily Blender. Jeffrey O'Brien is out. Lots to talk about today, guys. Lots to talk about indeed. The Suns cooled off last night. Manny Machado, this is interesting to me, and I don't know, Ralph, I'll get your take on this a little bit later here, but he's planning to walk out on the San Diego Padres, leave $150 million on the table.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we'll talk about that. Giannis is injured in the second quarter of last night's game for the Bucks, and I'll give you a couple of more reasons why I think the NBA All-Star Game should be after the season or before the season. With all these injuries, it's almost useless to have the All-Star Game. I mean, you have people that are stars that have been voted in to start the All-Star Game. They're not going to be able to make it because of injuries or whatever. So we'll talk about that. Suns introduced Kevin Durant. Of course, he needs no introduction, but 3,000 people showed up at his introductory press conference yesterday. Wow. That's amazing. But speaking of the Phoenix Suns, got cooled off last night by the Los Angeles Clippers here in Phoenix, 116-107. Suns did not look crisp. They did not look like they were shooting well. When Josh Okogie is leading the team in points with 24, there's something wrong. DeAndre had 18, Book had 19, Chris Paul had 5, Terrence Ross had 16. Terrence who? Terrence Ross. He had 16 points. The Suns did not look good at all. Might be a little tired. I don't know. But let's talk about it. Keon, what do you think? Your observations on the Phoenix Suns Clippers game last night?
Yeah, I just thought. I didn't really have too much of a problem with the shooting too much. It was the defense. And I understand that the Clippers, the way they're currently constructed, they're a tough team to guard. But on a night when you get Kawhi Leonard scoring 16 points, you've got to contain Terrence Mann. You can't let that guy go off and drop 26 on you alongside Paul George, who also dropped 26. You've got to play better defense than that. Because the bad shooting nights are going to happen. Okay, and the Suns are a jump shooting team. That's going to be their strength, and it's also going to be their weakness. But if you're that, one of the things this team has always done well is that they've played really good defense. I didn't really see it last night. And you know, you're going to have nights where your defensive intensity goes up and down, but I'd like to see it maybe not go this far down personally. And so, yeah, I mean, you'd love to see more out of Ayton and Booker, but if they had an off night, that's just an off night. The defense has to be consistent, though.
52 points combined for Paul George and Terrence Mann. 52 points. And then Ivica Zubac, he had 13, and Kawhi dropped in 16, a cool 16 last night. But for me, the Suns just, I mean, if you look at the stat board, Suns, they're not getting to the free throw line very often. I mean, as a matter of fact, they only got there 16 times. You got to do better than that compared to the Clippers, who were on the charity stripe 27 times and shot 92% from there. And the Suns, when they did get to the charity stripe, they only, you know, it was only 3/4 of the time they were making the hoop, 75%. They didn't out rebound the Clippers. I don't know. They gave up too many personal fouls, in my opinion, and the team just didn't look good. They just didn't look sharp. Maybe they had too much lunch at the Kevin Durant press conference. You know, maybe they, you know how we do at the radio station, got around big table. They had a big buffet and some sandwiches and potato salads and stuff. And they filled up, and so they weren't ready to go. Maybe that's what it was. I'm sure that's what it was. Ralph, you think that's what it was?
I think they better start, not getting swallowed by all the hype of Kevin Durant, because if you just sit there and go, well, now we're going to have Kevin Durant. I mean, we're the team, and there's teams that have done that in the past. They get the player or two, and they think that's all you need. Now we can go ahead and get to a championship, and they forget that they have to put work in and do things. And I don't know. I mean, it's just a bad shooting night. You shouldn't overreact to it. It makes me happy. But I don't want
the Clippers fan.
Right. I don't want to overreact to it. I mean, I'm not a Clipper fan. I'm an LA fan. But
I'm sorry, Lakers fan. Fan.
But I mean, it's. I don't think it's like Keon said. So they had a bad shooting night. They didn't play very well. The Clippers did play very well. They lost. It's the first time they've lost to the Clippers this year. They'll get one more shot at them. So we'll see. I wouldn't overreact just yet, but it does make me happy.
I heard one guy break it down this way. I mean, in the NBA, you got to break it down by quarter. The Suns lost 3 out of 4 quarters. They lost the first quarter. They lost the third quarter. They lost the fourth quarter. They've got to be better than that, and at least win 2 of the quarters, but they didn't. And so the Suns go home losers last night. We'll wait and see what happens. We don't know exactly when Kevin Durant will be in the lineup, but it's now the All-Star break. And my vote is they'll be back on the 24th from the All-Star break against the Oklahoma City Thunder at home. And I think that's maybe where they unveil Kevin Durant into the lineup. I don't know. Ralph, what do you think?
You think he'll be ready by then?
Oh, I think so. I mean, I've seen some of the stuff from shoot around, and he's moving. He's not wearing any sort of a brace or anything. He's not favoring it. I don't know. I just you're coming back. You got what, 22 games left before the playoffs start?
Is it 20? I think something like that.
Yeah.
So the 22, 21, 20, something like that games left before the playoffs start.
I mean, he's gonna need to at least try to get 20 games in just to kind of get into a flow, get into a rhythm with his offense, right?
Kind of what I mean. And why not? Why not unveil him at home against his former team, Oklahoma City? Oklahoma City's playing good basketball. You don't want them to come in here after the All-Star break and stun you before you go to Milwaukee.
I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm sure the fans would like to see that. I'm really interested to see how he's going to work with these guys. I mean, I know everybody's thinking it's going to be great, but I want to see. So, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if he can get back then, get 20, 22 games under his belt, I mean, I think you can take that and go into the playoffs with it. We'll see what happens.
Keon, they go on the road 4 straight games in a row after coming back from the All-Star break. They're in Milwaukee, then it's Charlotte, then Chicago, then Dallas. Then they come back and take on the Thunder again at home before facing the Kings at home and then going to Golden State to play the Warriors. I mean, do you think there might be a different time when KD might come out of the practice gym and actually get on the floor?
I don't. I think the home game is probably the best time to do it, but it really depends on medically where he's at. It seems like he's in a good place though. The timetable that he's been on, they're taking their time with it, because I think the initial timetable was a month after the injury, which we're past that point. But using the All-Star break to take a little extra time coming back from that, I don't see why the home game against OKC isn't the best time to do that. If in fact he's in shape.
I just counted them up. Yeah, it's only 22 games, 22 regular season games. Wilbur on the text line at 888-368 says Keon's pulling a double. That guy's a gamer. What is that? What does that mean? You were on before the show?
Yeah, I was on the main event filling in
great.
for Big
Now
Steve.
all your great takes. You've used all your great takes up.
I don't know about that.
Perfect. All right. Suns lose against the Clippers at home. Next game, the 24th against Oklahoma City. And the All-Star break is underway for the Phoenix Suns. And I'm just hoping these guys will. I don't think Kevin Durant's going to go to Utah. I think he's going to stay here. I think he's going to push through. He's going to get some time under his belt and keep rehabbing that knee. And I think he'll be ready to go. I mean, that's just I don't know. I could be wrong.
That's the smart thing, I would think.
Speaking of other people that are kind of cooled off and not going to make it, Giannis Antetokounmpo last night decided to go up for a block, landed kind of awkwardly into that the padding for the superstructure, the basket, sprained his wrist. I thought he broke it the way he went down. When I saw the replay, I thought, oh no, his season's done. And he came up holding it, and I thought, oh God, he's broken his wrist. But apparently, as of today, it's not a break. I haven't seen anything to the contrary of it just being a sprain, which this could be a massive blow for the Bucks, especially with like I said, 20 some odd games left in the regular season and then the playoffs. I mean, this is his wrist, and it's his right wrist, and he's a right-handed shooter. I mean, this could affect him. This could affect him greatly. He's going to have to, at the very least, he's going to have the thing taped up because a sprain doesn't just go away overnight. So I don't. What's your take on that, Keon?
Well, I think that just the timing of it, if you're going to have an injury like that, right before the All-Star break is the best time to have that injury, because then you get the All-Star weekend. You don't have to take it very seriously. You still get to have fun with the other guys around the league, relax a little bit. And because we're not playing basketball until Thursday, and I don't know if Milwaukee's coming back Thursday or Friday, that gives you the week essentially to try and get your wrist back to where you want it to be for this last stretch of the regular season. So he'll be okay.
I mean, it seems to me a sprained wrist is going to be tender for a few days for sure, and you don't know when the swelling's going down, and you don't know what grade of sprain it is either.
Yeah,
it could be severe. I mean, he hit that thing; it was odd, and he really, when he rolled off of that pad, he was in some severe pain. So, I mean, this is like a grade 2 or worse sprain. Even worse if it's some sort of a tear in there. I mean, that's his shot. I mean, you're not going to be able to hold that shot. I mean, that could really sink his shooting percentage and really be a blow for the Bucks heading into the playoffs.
Though I think with Giannis, because Giannis he's never relied on the shot. Like that's never been the big part of his game. I think Giannis in particular will be okay because, using his size and his body to bully his way to the basket, the way that when he doesn't have the ball, he knows he's got such a high basketball IQ. He cuts to the basket, when no one else is paying attention to him. And then he uses that to really freak teams out too. Cause now you got to pay attention to Giannis, even when he doesn't have the ball. I think Giannis will be fine. If Giannis were a shooter, if Giannis were a Steph, then I would be more concerned.
All right.
But for him in particular, because of the way he plays the game, I wouldn't be too worried about Giannis if I were a Bucks fan.
All right. So another guy to keep, kind of a close eye on, Joel Embiid revealed that he's not going to attend the All-Star game because he says, quote, "I'm not healthy," end quote. He's not healthy. He's going to take that time to recuperate. And we know in the past he's had back problems. We know he's got, knee issues. I mean, he's a big dude and he's taken a lot of abuse. And it's you say what you will, it's late in the season. There's 22 games left of an 82-game season.
I mean, who's really healthy right now anyway?
Well, that's
right?
my point exactly. But I mean, if Joel Embiid, I mean, and the 76ers have been playing great ball. I mean, if they're going to catch the Celtics and be the team to beat in the East, they need Joel Embiid. They're going to need him every night. They can't afford to have him out.
And the Bucks too. I mean, the Celtics and the Bucks are both standing over them in the standings. So they've got to catch him. And I think Embiid knows that. And I think that the Celtics have struggled both to end seasons and in the playoffs before, because Joel Embiid has had all these nagging injuries, and even in the playoffs, he'll miss a game or two here and there. And then they end up getting knocked out by a team that maybe they're even better than, but because Joel couldn't play for every game, that put them at a complete disadvantage. Yeah, he's got to be as healthy as he possibly can be. And I think not just him, but every 7-footer ought to really think about it.
Yeah, no kidding. But I mean, after the game against Cleveland last night, he says, I don't know if I'll be able to play in the All-Star game. He's not feeling good. I am not healthy is a direct quote. And he goes on to say, I haven't been healthy for the past 3 weeks or a month. I'm just trying to get to the All-Star break without missing games. But I feel like I've reached the point where I need to follow the doctor's advice. And back then I said I should have been sitting for 2 weeks. So we'll see how the next few days go. And from there, end quote. I don't see him playing. Because what's more important to Joel Embiid, an All-Star game or a world championship?
Right. I was going to say that. Why bother playing? I mean, if you want to go hang out with the guys and have a good time, go do that. Right. I think a lot of guys will go do that. But you don't need to play in that game. Let the other guys that are feeling better do it. It means nothing. It's just, it's just a time of fun. I'd let it go, get healthy. It's more important.
Yeah. I mean, as long as he can go and get some treatment on his ailments, whatever it is, his knees or his back.
And it's a week of free recovery.
You know what I'm saying? As long as he can go there and he can get recovery time while he's there.
Yeah. And
I mean, then go. Yeah.
There'll be lots of NBA trainers that'll be there. I mean, teams will bring the team doctors and all that stuff. So you can go there and have fun and still rehab or recoup or recover or whatever it is that you need to do. And this is a time where you can take that time off and you're not letting anybody down. Yeah. The reason why guys play through the injuries is my team needs me. So then they end up maybe putting themselves at more of a health risk just to make sure their team wins basketball games. So this is a week where you're not going to let anybody down. Take all the time to relax you need.
Well, and maybe not as stunning, but this also, we're starting off the show here with a lot of injury news from the NBA. DeMar DeRozan injures his quad, could miss the All-Star game as well. And if it's his quad, I mean, this is going to hurt him with the Chicago Bulls. I mean, when it comes to the Bulls, I mean, that's what I think of, DeMar DeRozan. When I think of the Chicago Bulls, I think DeMar DeRozan. And for him, this could be a bad situation. He's got according to an MRI, he's got a grade 1 strain. And he doesn't think it's that significant. And according to what he told his coach, because Billy Donovan said, quote, I don't think it's significant, end quote. But he might miss the All-Star festivities as well, kind of rehabbing his quad injury. And a quad injury for a basketball player, I mean, that's significant.
That's your
everything.
Yeah, and he's such a mobile player, runs through screens, all of that stuff. Plus, he basically's mastered that Kobe kind of low block fadeaway thing. Like, you need your legs for literally every part of the game when you play it the way that DeMar does. And they're 2 games out of that last play-in game spot. So I know that's important to them because all those guys want to be in the postseason or have a chance at it. So you don't want to cause anything to be worsened by you playing an All-Star game, and then in the last 20 games, maybe you fall away and you can't catch Toronto and get in.
Does anyone even really care about these All-Star games?
See, that was my point, about a week or so back. I mean, Keon and I were talking about it. And I think they ought to wait until either after the season, after like a month of the season, sometime in the dead time when baseballs just kind of get going, maybe after the March Madness, like in April or May, you play this All-Star game, or before the season when it's like the preseason, because these guys aren't going to go 110% in the game. You know what I mean?
No, I like where it is now. Yeah, sometimes you miss guys. That's just what it is. But it's not the serious thing. Like, I'm not I'm not, I have to sit down and watch the All-Star game, but it is a fun event. And what I like about it being mid-season is you do end up with this week break where, oh, I've got a nagging, hamstring. I've got a wrist. Okay. If you can play. If you can't, well, here's a week where you can actually recover. And then this last stretch of the season, you've got guys who are maybe a little bit more healthy going full tilt, trying to get to the end and see who can get into the postseason.
But as a fan, though, as a fan, don't you want to see a game where all the stars are playing?
But you never will. Like, if you put it at the end of the season, then people are going to focus on, well, I'm going to be a playoff team, so maybe I'm not going or what have you. And if you put it before the season, there are people who don't report to the camp until right before the season starts. I hate to see it.
You're
always going to be missing somebody.
I realize it's a good break. I mean, build in some sort of a 5-day break in the season, let these guys kind of reset and recuperate.
And
it's a long season.
Yeah, give them a bye week.
But I can't. I don't like the All-Star game because it's more of a chance for these guys who already are kind of, they've been grinding it out since this thing began some 50 some odd games ago, and now you're going to put them in a even if it's just a kind of a shoot around. Basically, it's just a glorified shoot around.
Yeah, I'm starting to get. It's interesting. I used to always be a big fan of these games. I'm starting to get to a point now where NBA, NFL, NHL, I think these all-star games are just a big waste of time. I'm not really sure that they're needed in any capacity. I like the idea of the break. I think the break's important in the NHL and the NBA. But do we really need an all-star game?
I don't think you need it for anything other than your younger fans. You're like, for me, when I was a kid, I loved the All-Star game. It was the most important thing because it was like, oh wow, I hate LeBron, but LeBron's going to be on a team I can actually root for.
Yeah,
with some of my favorite players from my team. I when I was a kid, I loved that, and so I always remember, even though now it's not as important to me that I'm an adult, I always remember I still think the All-Star game has value for your younger fans. And the whole weekend is a celebration of the sport, and you've got alternates for a reason. So let those guys come in and play.
It just feels so watered down now,
It is.
It's not the days of Jordan and Magic when those were great All-Star weekends. I don't know. It really watered down.
Yeah.
I think I'm still bitter about the Pro Bowl too. That just kind of messed me up. that was the most horrendous thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, welcome to the new era.
Yeah.
All right. 888-368-1580, open for your comments and questions. It's a Friday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
NBA, Denver's Nikola Jokic is the favorite to win the MVP for the third straight year, -240 as the NBA heads to the All-Star break. Philadelphia's Joel Embiid +600. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Milwaukee Bucks +700. Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics +1,800. Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks +2,100. And Memphis guard Ja Morant at +6,500. Paulo Banchero of the Orlando Magic is the favorite to win the Rookie of the Year, -1,000. Benedict Mathurin of the Indiana Pacers, the next favorite at +950. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. Join the show as we discuss all the Phoenix teams and go around the country. Do the Cardinals get a head coach soon? Kevin Durant gets introduced on Thursday, and Jacob Chikrin on trade alert for the Coyotes. Pitchers and catchers report this week for Major League Baseball. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 1580, 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer, up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
This is sure to be a Big 12 shootout when Baylor travels to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Saturday at 1:45.
Listen to all the action live from premier games and conference showdowns, high-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball, all in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is the Daily Blender on a Friday. So we head into our second segment of hour number one. I want to remind you, the big station busy this weekend starting tonight. GCU against Abilene Christian. 8:45 tip time around 9 o'clock. Michael Potter, Paul Coro, and the team will be bringing it to you live. And then on Saturday, Seton Hall visits UConn at 10 a.m. And then it's Baylor at Kansas. You just heard the announcer talk to you about it. Hang on just a second. Let me get the frog out of my throat here. Yeah, there we go. Baylor at Kansas, 1:45 Saturday. St. Mary's at Sunny Slope Boys Open Division quarterfinals basketball. That is Saturday night, 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, the NASCAR Daytona 500. The field is set. There was some fun activity last night at the duels. So Kyle Busch, not only did he get in trouble in Mexico, but he also changed teams in the offseason. He's now driving the 8 car for the Richard Childress Racing, and he got bumped by the 99 car. What's his name? Suarez, Daniel Suarez, and it kind of put him in the wall. He took out a few cars, and he took out the guy who was qualifying just based on position. I can't remember his name. But it was there was one guy, Connor Daly, was a lap down, had no chance of making the 500, was going to go home. And because of that wreck, he made the Daytona 500.
Jeez. Well, good for him.
I mean, yeah.
Sometimes it's good to be that far back.
Right? He was on the other side of the track running by himself. And they had a crash over here. And he just made the Daytona 500.
Big old smile.
That's why you never give up, boys and girls. Never give up.
Yeah, I mean, he was so far behind, he couldn't even see the other cars. But good for him. Connor Daly making the Daytona 500, his first, I believe. And that is, you'll hear it flag-to-flag coverage live here on the Fanatic on Sunday. Let's go to the text line at 888-368. 1580. Boogie, I apologize. I think the text line is having some issues because I did not see these until I refreshed the text line during the break. So I do apologize. And there might be some in there right now that I'm not seeing for whatever reason. So be patient. I'll get to your text as soon as I see them. Or don't be afraid. Just text me again. And I'll refresh this thing and we'll see what happens as we go along. It's a Friday. It's not Friday the 13th, but it's Friday the 17th. But anyway, Boogie texted in about, 25 minutes ago. Hey, Randy, bear me. There you go, Boogie. It's all caps. Once again, when you type in all caps, I have to warn you, when you type in all caps, that's what happens. Cards Chappie says, it looks like It looks like the NBA flexed the Suns game on the 24th to a national broadcast, so they're expecting Durant to play too. Yeah, see? The 24th Suns, Oklahoma City. I mean, why would you have Suns, Oklahoma City on a national broadcast if something big wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. I think so. I don't know. Maybe. Silly Wabbit says, so what happened to Jeffrey? Is he MIA? Is he out with OJ searching for the real killers? No. Nice guess, though.
Damn.
That's not it's not what he's doing. 888-368-1580. Now I'm going to read this, and I'm not going to give you my opinions, but I think it's funny. Anybody who has been on a golf course or has played, basketball against his buddies, or has played, softball or any kind of sport. You have these little jokes, these little gotchas during these games that you like to do your friends. I had a guy that was I was playing beer league softball on Sundays for a long time, and we played against this other team. And there was a guy on this other team, for whatever reason, he and I were just always, we were always going back and forth. I mean, it was good natured, but we were always going back and forth. He would try to hit it by me. I'd try to hit it by him. It was like our own personal little competition. We'd have fun with it. And then you end up on second or dear God, or you burn him in the outfield. He was an outfielder. I was an infielder. You burn him in the outfield or you get a home run out of it. Then it's just like you're staring at him laughing, And you see it at the Major League Baseball level. You see guys, friends, you got your buddy out there who's pitching and it's you against your buddy or your brother. I've seen that matchup too, where the brother's pitching and the other brother comes up to the plate and hits, and they're always smiling to each other. If the one brother gets a base hit, he's at first, and the pitcher's looking over at him, and they're laughing. So it goes on all the time. So Tiger Woods was on the tee box, and he was playing alongside his good friend Justin Thomas yesterday at the Riviera Country Club, and I have to pull it together because I think it's funny. But I played a lot of golf with my buddies. And so they both teed off from, I don't even know what hole it was. They both teed off. Now remember, Tiger Woods he's playing injured. He's got a foot issue. He's got an ankle issue. His back is basically titanium rods, and he's 47 years old. And Justin Thomas, he's a youngster, and he's spry. So apparently what happened, they both teed off and Tiger outdrove him. Outdrove. And covertly, Tiger reached into his bag and covertly didn't make a big deal out of it, but he handed Justin Thomas an item and it was a joke. And Justin Thomas discarded it. They all had a big laugh, and it was, according to Tiger, it was supposed to be fun and games. Obviously, it turned out not to be.
What did he hand him?
I know what it is, but Randy's trying to.
Well, because I've been there before, man. Wood said he and his close friend play practical jokes on each other during rounds. Woods was criticized by some for Thursday's action, which critics described as "quote unquote" sexist. Apparently, as they're walking off the tee box, Woods covertly handed Justin Thomas a tampon. It wasn't like he held it up and made a big deal out of it. You could see it in the picture. It was very on the sly.
I mean, that's awesome. But what's he doing with that in his bag?
Well, I'm sure it was for this very reason.
Yeah, let's hope. He planned on doing exactly that. I will outdrive you, and then afterwards, I'm going to hand you. Like, that's why he had it.
Let's hope he only had one.
Well, yeah, I think that was all there was.
Yeah.
But Thomas, he didn't throw it in the garbage. He wasn't coy about it at all. He just dropped it right there on the ground so everybody can see it.
That's pretty funny.
And then Woods put his arm around Thomas as they kept walking, and they were both laughing about it. But apparently, there are some who feel like this was in bad taste.
Oh, whatever.
So Tiger Woods came out today.
He didn't apologize, did he?
If I offended anyone in any way, shape, or form, I'm sorry. It was not intended to be that way. It was just we play pranks on each other all the time. And I didn't think this would come across that way. It was between us. It's different.
And like the thing for me is because it's not my joke personally, but it was supposed to be between them. Yeah. So I was reading the story earlier, and I got to the part of the story where it said critics said, and I was like, critics. I don't like if he whispered something in his ear and someone accidentally heard it. There's supposed to be critics for that too. How are we gonna? Are we really gonna police every second of everybody's life?
Well, I mean that's the point.
I honestly, because you can find it sexist and
of course you can.
Yeah,
come on.
But I don't have an opinion on it. Like, you know what I mean? I think you and Ralph are gonna obviously like find this funnier than I find it.
Well,
but I don't have an opinion on it.
Well, I mean, look, if you're Justin Thomas, instead of just dropping it to the ground, just discreetly put it in your pocket until you get next to a trash receptacle and drop it in there.
And only because you know that's people are going to react.
Exactly.
There's a reason why you see NBA players after the games they're all having conversations with their shirts over the because people are always watching. And to me, that is insane. That is insane. That is insane.
I just gonna say it. You know what? Screw people. I mean, this is stupid.
And Tiger has before,
right?
Anyway,
I mean, if you're sensitive, go to sensitivity training to desensitize yourself a little bit because it's just not that big a deal. Life's just not that much. Get over it. I mean, seriously, sack up.
Like you can have your personal opinions on anything,
right, Randy?
But when someone else's private interaction becomes something that you now have to make your cause. What the hell is happening? Like, I don't, people were so mad. And I was just like, they didn't say it to you. It was never for you. No one was shouting anything across a golf course. He put it in his hands.
Now, if any of my buddies are listening, I usually play a tournament every May, June, sometime around there. I usually play in a tournament. I know one of them is going to do this to me. I know they're going to do this to me.
Absolutely.
And it's funny. It's funny as all get out. But I would learn a lesson here if I'm JT or if I'm Tiger. Okay, it's okay to prank each other and have a little fun, but don't let anybody else know about it. You know what I mean? Don't let anybody else know about it because wandering eyes are out there. Ooh, it wasn't like he wore some sort of blasphemous shirt. It's like people that are just complaining about everything. This was between Justin Thomas and Tiger Woods. Okay, was it in bad taste? Perhaps, but it doesn't involve you.
I mean, if you're a critic that spends their life going around watching what everyone else says and does, first off, you're pathetic. All right? Get a life. Stop worrying about everybody else and worry about yourself. If me and Randy want to sit here off air and have a conversation that's maybe not the best conversation in the world, that's our business. It's not yours. So I'm so sick and tired of the people like they just need to go away.
And what critics of what? Like for me, I'm a fan of critics, but let me tell you what kinds of critics: food critics, movie critics, music critics, people who have like a thing that they're trying to explain.
Right.
A private conversation between Tiger Woods and Justin Thomas. That's not for public consumption. So what are you critiquing? Go away. Please go away. I hate all of you. I'm so confused. I saw the reaction on social media and I was like, why? No one even meant for the rest of us to see that, and if you want to feel your personal feelings, that's okay.
I'm sorry if this conversation, but I mean, the whole idea is it's not to make fun of women or golfers in any way. This was a joke meant for Tiger Woods and Justin Thomas. Just stay out of their business.
Yep.
The text line, as you can imagine, is humming now.
Has exploded. I'm sure.
Let's see here. Let me get this to load up. Baker's Cocky Hen says, "Happy Friday. The world is way too sensitive now. If I offend you, that's your problem." Well, thank you for that. Bala51 says, MSNBC Golf Channel spent the first 20 minutes of their coverage on the tampon joke, and we're not happy about how much it hurt. It has hurt the growth of women's equality in golf. Oh my God. Sports will never be equal between women and men. Stop already.
Well, that's got nothing to do with equality, just so much as like, look, I get it. I personally am not like thrilled about the
could have been done differently.
Yeah, women and weakness being a thing that gets pushed together. But I am not offended because it's not directed at anybody. You know what I mean? Like if Tiger Woods, after Justin Thomas failed to outdrive him, turned to the crowd and shouted, "Wow, what a way to hit like a woman, JT."
He'd get killed.
I would have something of a problem.
Well, I mean,
with that.
I don't know,
but he didn't do that.
I don't know about you guys, but if sometimes you top the ball, it rolls, it doesn't make it past the women's tees. Okay, and my guys are just giving me a hard time. If you really take a swing on a par 5, you really want to club it down the center somewhere, and you completely miss it, and it just like it rolls to the women. Oh, you got to hit from there. I mean, it's that kind of joking that goes on all the time. It's not meant to offend anybody.
Well, it's not meant
supposed to be
anybody.
a joke.
Even if it was meant to entertain, it wasn't meant to entertain everybody either.
You know what's pathetic too is the people that are the loudest critics are usually the worst offenders.
Yeah, that's been my experience too.
That's my experience, right? Those that speak the loudest about it are the ones that are doing it behind everyone else's back. Just shut the heck up.
Moist One says, totally let down by feminist icon Tiger Woods.
Noted feminist icon Tiger Woods.
He's been very
Big George. Big George. I turn on the show and I'm hearing Randy make tampon jokes. Wow, things go way downhill when Jeffrey is gone. I didn't make any tampon jokes.
It was Tiger Woods' tampon joke, Big George.
That's pretty funny though.
Oh, Mr. Wilbur says, how do we know it wasn't a huge pre-rolled joint? We don't see.
It's true.
Just a giant pink pre-roll joint.
If it was Up in Smoke Cheech and Chong movie, it would have been a joint.
Oh my goodness. All right. That's I had to bring this up because I kind of feel like this is ridiculous.
It is. Thank you for bringing
the
this up.
entire world is upset about a joke between a Tiger. Could he have done it differently? Yes,
I'm sure. But look, here's the thing: is we live in a world that we don't fully understand how to navigate because we've never lived in a world where we have this many cameras on us at all times. And I don't remember the quote, but somebody made a quote about George Orwell in 1984, but they were like, George Orwell got it wrong because the government doesn't have all the cameras. Everybody's got all the cameras.
Yeah.
So everybody, like you're being policed by everybody. It's weird. I don't like it. And I think you've got to let people have private moments themselves where they say stuff that's maybe, it's not the most politically correct thing, but okay, but he said it to his friend quietly. How do I come in all of this?
I don't see how this. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and I'm a caveman. And if I am, I apologize. But I don't see how this injures women's golf at all. I think that's a bit of a stretch because there are many women on out there that are playing the game of golf that are way better at me than the game of golf. I have no problem with that. I don't see how this hurts anybody anywhere. It's just a joke between two people. Anyway, we got to take a break. Otherwise, Radio Ron's going to come in here and he's going to hand me something. It'll be my last check. This is Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LEAP to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text LEAP to 321-321. That's LEAP to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
The Renaissance Festival is back!
Weekends now through April 2nd.
Great shopping, a giant crafts market. Your favorite shows.
Be ready to have a great time and don't be afraid to participate.
Just night. Silly fun for the entire family.
Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival.
Lots of new shows. Non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. It's fun and affordable.
You will adore the Renaissance Festival.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through April 2nd.
Discount tickets available at Bashers at Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com.
Presented by Delta Airlines.
Bashers Food City.
Pepsi, Budweiser, and
The
Guinness.
Renaissance Festival is open on President's Day, Monday, February 20th. Don't miss the adventure. Huzzah!
Go to arizona.renfestinfo.com.
This is Joan, enjoying some me time up on the rim. This is Simon and his friends paddling the Salt River. And this is Brad. Brad is, well, no one knows where Brad is. What they all have in common is that they went to azmbdnow.gov to quickly and easily renew their registration or 30 other services. So go to azmbdnow.gov and get more time to enjoy all the things you love.
Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender for Friday here on 1580 99.3, The Fanatic, as we are rolling towards 6 o'clock tonight. Don't forget tonight, GCU basketball it kicks off at 8:45 with the pregame show. And then at 9 o'clock is tip time, GCU at Abilene Christian. And they will be coming back home next week. You might want to get your tickets now, or you might want to just keep listening. We may have some GCU tickets to give away for you next week. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Either way, you got to get to the arena and see and experience the havoc. But if you can't make it to the arena, you can always hear the games live here on your home for Antelopes basketball. 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Let's go to the text 9. And a lot of things on the text line. Morticia's man says, I 1,000,000% or 10 million percent. I can't, there's so many zeros. 10 a billion percent agree. People are garbage. Thank you. Baker's cocky hints. I'm not gonna, that's gross. I'm not gonna say that. Booger fan, yes, Cecil doesn't even like that. Booger Wolf says, Lakers fans' breath smells so bad, you don't know you should give him a mint or a roll of toilet paper. Ha, ha, ha. Go Suns, boy.
Booger Wolf has been on a roll lately.
I mean, that's
with his Lakers trash.
That's
talk.
Next level trash talk right there. Silly Wabbit asks, can I get a radio show that criticizes all the critics in every type of media? I could probably fill that for 3 hours. Yeah. 11:07. Suns will be contending for an NBA title while Cardinals the number one pick next year. No, I don't think so. 11:07. I don't think so at all. I'm going to wait. The slate, in my opinion, with the Cardinals is clean. We're going to wait and see what happens. I don't understand how you can make this opinion up about this incoming coach when you've never seen the guy coach. You don't know what he's got.
We only have one press conference to go on.
I mean, the guy had the number one defense in the NFL last year. Yeah, they got beat, but they got beat by the best team in the NFL. I mean, all of these haters out there just expecting the Cardinals to implode. I hope you all are around. If the Cardinals come out and they rattle off a great season and they go to the damn Super Bowl next year, I hope to hear from all of you haters. All of you.
because I'm going to laugh at all of you. Quiet Cannon says, I believe Tiger just added 10 years onto his career. He's come a long ways with this kind of stuff. Pretty cool. What do you mean? Practical jokes?
That's been a Tiger staple for a while. But
yeah, he's got a great sense of humor.
Some of his jokes used to be meaner, actually.
He's got a great sense of humor.
They're like, now that Tiger's a dad, he's mellowed out a little bit. Some of his jokes used to be even meaner. So, you know.
Hey, Mile High guy. Good to hear from you again. Haven't heard from you since January 6th. If you don't get it beyond the ladies' tee, we enforce the elephant rule. Explain. The elephant rule. That's a new one on me. 888-368-1580. And I'm getting back to baby got Dak. Baby got Dak says, hi guys, happy Friday. It looks like Keon's Commanders are finally finalizing a deal to bring in Eric Bieniemy as the OC. Good move for the Commanders, in my opinion. Well, Keon, it's your team. I'll let you start. What do you think?
Yeah, what I think is I can't believe it's happening.
So you're happy. You're like,
yeah, I'm really happy about it. Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest problems that Washington had last year was the play calling. It was a gigantic issue, especially in the red zone. They were particularly terrible in the red zone. And I think that's why they had to fire Scott Turner. Now, in my wildest dreams, I never thought they were going to actually be able to land Eric Bieniemy as their offensive coordinator. I just would have assumed there were better situations for him to go to or want to go to. But from what I understand, when he showed up in Washington, they went out the full court press. They went and took him to dinner, interviewed him, took him to dinner Wednesday night, interviewed him Thursday, took him to dinner Thursday night, interviewed him some more Friday, and really seemed to like what they saw and what the plan was. And they've got a young quarterback in Sam Howell that they'd like to develop. You know, if they don't go any of these veteran quarterback options, I think that offense has real talent at the skill positions. Offensive line's no good, but the running backs are, the wide receivers are. So I like the move for Washington. It's a good giant step in a direction where the NFC East is a whole lot better than it used to be. You're going to have to be able to put up points to compete. And they couldn't last year.
So Bieniemy is not only going to be the OC and come in and develop the head coach, according to what CBS Sports is saying, that it's a multi-year deal, as he's also going to be the assistant head coach. So if something happens, then I guess he'll swing in there and just take over as head coach. I think it's a great move for him.
Yeah, and I think that gives him a degree of power and control he hasn't had before. And especially since a lot of what I'm hearing from people is, well, he's got to kind of go prove it out from underneath the wing of Andy Reid and go do it on his own. Where, yeah, he obviously has been working with Andy Reid. He understands the attention to detail, all of that stuff, but he doesn't call plays. And that's the thing you keep hearing again is Andy Reid's the guy ultimately on Sunday calling those plays. And so here's a chance for Bieniemy to really run one half of a team right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be big. I mean, Ron Rivera is really putting a lot of trust in Bieniemy coming in, and not only as offensive coordinator, but as assistant head coach. He's going to be a guy that the players are going to look to, and this is going to be great for his resume. I don't understand why he hasn't. I don't know why he hasn't had a head coaching position. There must be something we're missing. And when I say we, fans of football are missing, because all we hear is, oh, no, he didn't get the job. He didn't get the job. And there's a lot of speculation out there. I'd love to know what the thinking is of these teams, because I can't imagine. I mean, we hired Jonathan Gannon. What's the scuttlebutt about Eric Bieniemy that he can't get a head coaching position?
I wish I knew.
Just boggles my mind.
I really don't know. But I think there has to be something, because multiple teams have passed on him,
I mean, we're not in the interview room when he's having those interviews, right? So we don't know what he's saying or what he's not saying or what he's missing. There's got to be something there, right? So like you just said, Randy, this role for him is a great opportunity to prove himself.
Yeah.
I mean, if he does a good job in this role the next 2-3 years, he's a head coach somewhere. So, I mean, great opportunity for him. So awesome.
And lots of us in life have made lateral moves before we've gotten to take big steps forward. It happens.
It's true.
So there's nothing wrong with having to take that route, and maybe people just do need to see that from him because whenever some black coaches get passed over, it's easy to say, well, there's a racial component there. But in the case of Bieniemy has been passed over for other black coaches. So that can't even be it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's something that we're missing.
Just wonky, man. I don't understand it. But anyway, congratulations to Eric Bieniemy moving on from the Chiefs. Boy, that's got to be hard for him. He's been with the Chiefs a long time.
Yeah, 2013 was when he was there. He's been the offensive coordinator since 2018. So now going to a different direction. But look, if he can get it done in Washington, it'll prove a couple of things: that he can do it without Andy Reid and that he can do it without Patrick Mahomes. If you go and do it with Ron Rivera, who doesn't even have an interest in calling the offensive side of the ball, and you can do it with Sam Howell, well, now if people pass you over for head coach, man, I don't know what else to say.
They need to get him a quarterback.
Yeah, I think they probably will at some point. They'll make him maybe at this draft. You
Maybe,
don't know.
but I don't think so. I think they really like Howell. Howell was the guy they had graded high. Howell fell to the 5th when he came out of college. The reason he came out was he went to that NFL board that sits down and says to prospects, "This is the range you can expect to be drafted in." They told Sam he was a first rounder. He fell to the 5th, and and when I watch him play, and it's not much, the sample size isn't big, but like he clearly knows what he's doing out there. The arm talent is there. The mobility is there. So with some play calling, it could be something interesting.
And he's got an elite offensive coordinator. And I would say elite. If a guy's been part of an organization, has worked with an elite head coach, which I think Andy Reid is, and he goes to 2 Super Bowls, wins 2 Super Bowls, I absolutely think it goes to 3 Super Bowls, wins 2 of them. I absolutely think this is nothing more than a giant upgrade for your Commandos. The douche that was owning the team, well, it looks like he's going to be going away here soon. And now you got a new offensive coordinator that just won a Super Bowl. Things are looking up for you in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and Washington was 500 last year, and that's just not going to cut it with new ownership because they're going to want something exciting and fresh. And if what's already there isn't successful, you're gone.
Big George says, great news for Washington. Eric Bieniemy should be a head coach somehow here, somewhere, and Washington is getting him as a premier offensive play caller. I would have loved to have seen him as the OC for the Cardinals, but we can never seem to get the top coaches. Well, okay, Big George, how do you know that Jonathan Gannon is not going to be a top coach? Again.
Well, I think he was talking about just even Bieniemy for OC, like the moment that he was going to be available for that.
Yeah. Let's see. Beer Bob. Elephant rule is where you pull out your. Oh no. No.
Somehow I should have known that that's where that was going, and I'm disappointed for not knowing.
CK says, "Good afternoon, fellas. Randy, beer me. Nice to see Jeffrey in the same sentence. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, suck it, Ralph." Wow. I think Ralph may have ducked out just a moment here. That I will be sure to pass that along. All right, hour 1 in the books. Hour 2 right around the corner. We've got so much to talk about. Like this, Manny Machado leaving $150 million on the table. Why is he leaving the San Diego Padres? That and much more next on the Daily Blender on 1580 The Fanatic.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name is Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Damn kids. I got a clicky pen that doesn't work right. I hate that. I gotta have a clicky pen. Hang on a minute.
Is it one of those where it just stuck closed?
Yeah, I did. No, it's stuck open.
It's stuck open. Oh,
Yeah.
those are the
Anyway,
worst.
are we live?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi everybody, and welcome to the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic on this Friday. 1 hour out of the way, we're heading into hour number 2 as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios at the CRC Broadcasting Megaplex. Right over there, the man, the myth, the legend. That's him. That's Ralph from Harmon Solar. Next to him, the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien is not here. This hour, lots to talk about. Aaron Jones wants to stay with the Packers, and he's willing to restructure his contract. Is this an indicator that maybe he's trying to lure Aaron Rodgers back? We'll talk about that. Manny Machado, who was given a 10-year, $300 million contract from the San Diego Padres, is willing to opt out at the end of this season and leave $150 million on the table. I wonder what he's doing. The NBA actually are enacting a discipline on refs for a missed call. We'll talk about that. And Derek Carr making a visit to the Big Apple. Let's get going first. Last night, GCU, was it last night they were in action, GCU? Or was it Wednesday night? Did I miss it?
No, that was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday night. Oh, never mind. Last night, Suns were in action. They played the Los Angeles Clippers, and boy, they got their injuries cooled off. Suns losing against the Clippers, and they didn't shoot well. And they didn't play very good defense at all. 116-107, the final score. Leading all scorers for your Phoenix Suns was number 2, Josh Okogie with 24 points. And followed by Devin Booker with only 19 points. Terrence Ross at 16. DeAndre Ayton had 18. They just, they weren't working well last night for some reason. I think maybe they had some buffet after KD's big press conference, and they were too loaded, from all the roast beef sandwiches. Yeah, I understand Mike McCarthy was in town. He was catering that for the guys.
And maybe they just didn't feel like playing basketball.
And then the bench didn't give them enough either. Outside of Terrence Ross,
didn't do a damn thing. No,
you know.
Paul George for the Clips had 26. Terrence Mann had 26. Ivica Zubac had 13. Kawhi had 16. Very efficient. Even Mason Plumlee had 6 points last night in 18 minutes.
And I know Okogie scored 24 points, but there was a play where Plumlee blocked the hell out of Okogie. I mean, took his head right off his shoulders. I was impressed by that. I didn't know that Mason Plumlee could jump that high, to be honest.
Josh is looking around for his head even today. He's still out there. Hey, have you seen a head? There was a couple of good hustle plays out of Okogie last night. I don't know what got into him. They went in, they scored, and then they went in again and they missed the basket. Josh Okogie got his own rebound. All the Clippers were standing around like, hey. And then Okogie, he put it home. And then he intercepted the inbound pass and put it back again. I mean, for a minute there, you just thought Josh Okogie was going to score like 115 points. But alas.
He's been playing really well lately, not just last night, but in the last few games. They're getting a lot of good stuff out of Josh Okogie.
Well, let's hope it continues. And what happened to my guy, DeAndre? 18-6. Not a big night for him. That's what I mean. Everybody looked a little flat. Booker looked a little flat. 19-3 with 9 assists. Chris Paul had 5 points with 11 assists, 3 rebounds.
I think what got Booker was the 3-point shooting. He's 1 for 6 from 3.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an off night, I think. Nothing to worry about, everybody. It's going to be okay. 888-368-1580. We talked about Eric Bieniemy. Look, I think this is a great move for your Commandos. I know Jeffrey would somehow poo-poo it and say that, his Colts are going to be much better this year and they're going to get a quarterback and, they're going to win a Super Bowl and all that.
You know who that would have been a really good move for? The Cardinals.
Who, Eric Bieniemy?
Yeah.
That's what Big George was saying last hour.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah. Let's see here. Big George, speaking of Big George, my wife is very disappointed to hear about the Manny Machado news. He's her favorite Padre, and he's the one that led the team last year in almost all offensive categories. I'm hopeful that the Padres might be able to rework his deal next offseason, but I can't blame him for wanting more money after all these other guys have gotten paid, like Fernando Atari.
Oh.
Atari? I don't think that's right. Manny was the NL MVP runner-up last season, and he's now only the 11th highest paid player. Only the 11th highest paid player in baseball. Oh, my God.
Boo-hoo.
The deal was good when he signed it.
Yeah.
He was.
I hate when players do that, right? You sign your deal, just stick to your deal. What you're making today could be the top, but next year it's not going to be, and it's going to keep getting lower.
He's already made $150 million.
I know, like boo-hoo.
If you put the opt-out in the contract, though, don't be surprised when the player uses the opt-out.
Well, then we should put a take-back clause. There needs to be a take-back clause. If you have a bad year, you're going to give money back.
Yeah.
How about that?
The thing is, if a team, it doesn't work both ways though, because if you overperform, the team's not giving you extra.
Well, they give you incentives.
They give you incentives if they want you to hit those. But if they didn't expect you to, and you go past that, they're not giving you extras. You take what they give you.
Yeah, Mr. Wilbur, you're right. You're 110% right. I agree with you. How is Manny ever going to feed his family on that minuscule salary? Yeah, no.
on the mere $150 million.
Like he'll ever go through that money. Jeez. Big George said he meant Fernando Tatis Jr. Stupid autocorrect. Yeah, or those gigantic giant hands that you have. Could be that too.
Wow.
Heavy Metal Maniac said, it's the truth. He'll tell you. He's got enormous giant hands.
Wow.
Like Andre the Giant, His hands are minuscule compared to Big George's.
He's got big old hooves.
I mean, when Big George's puts his hands up over you, it shades all around you. That's how big his hands are.
Sounds like that Foo Fighters music video. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm
That's
pretty
awesome.
sure that was Big George was in that thing.
And model. Okay.
Heavy Metal Maniacs. What's up with the Eric the Enemy getting a different job? He did very well for them. I thought it was there's something going on that some of the listeners or fans may not know about. Then he says, sorry, was voice texting.
Yes, you were.
Well, at least he noticed.
Yeah, I'm happy about Eric the Enemy. I am just Big George said Fernando Tatis Jr. and I'm just like, Ralph, you're a baseball guy. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been stupid.
Very stupid.
Why do I have to honor his contract?
I don't think you need to, but at the same time, you don't want to lose the guy. Right?
Why not?
The talent that he has and what he brings is important to that team. They need him. But I totally agree with you.
Do they?
I think they do, and they're clearly desperate.
Do they
to get to a World Series? That's why they're spending so much money.
The guy they had come back, that filled in for Tatis. I can't remember his name. He did a really good job.
Yeah, I think that you bring Tatis in, and I think you set him down in one of those plush chairs that's in the GM's office. Hey Fernando, welcome in. Can I get you water, beverage, anything, sandwich? I'll call my assistant and have him or her / whoever get the. Oh no, you're good. Oh yeah, all right. And then I'm gonna just kind of go around from behind the desk because I don't want to put on this me versus you thing. And I'm gonna sit next to him and then I'm gonna look him right in the eyes and say, Fernando, here's the situation. I'm gonna give you exactly one more strike, just one more. And if you step out that much, I'm gonna sell you to Pittsburgh and bring in one of our farm league guys. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Are we clear here? All right. Hey, good. It's good talk, Fernando. Good talk. I'll see you at spring training. All right. You be on time now. One strike. Okay. All right.
Or else you're going to Washington where no one's going to hear from you ever again. Because you'll be surrounded by about 13 guys who don't deserve to be in the league.
I mean, I would just send him I'd send him to Pittsburgh. Just see you later.
But I think that's fair. You give him one chance. He screws up again, he's gone.
Just one more time.
That's it. You give everybody a second chance, but that's it. And then
I think
done.
he's had several.
Yeah, because he's on chance 5 now.
With the Padres though.
Yeah. I mean, with the steroids, with the whatever this injury is that he's trying to be coy about,
shoulder.
And hide. Yeah. That when did you get hurt, Fernando? I don't know.
I mean.
So he's at least on his third chance right now.
Look, I mean, this is a guy that's clearly got a immense amount of talent, can play the game, can hit the long ball. The fans love him. I mean, he could be the face of a franchise, but it's just like I don't know what's going on inside that tiny brain of his.
First off, I hate the Padres. Just to say,
oh, you and me both
hate them. But I do, since I live right by the Padre complex, I do go and watch the guys that they draft, and they're rookie ball guys.
Yeah,
they've got some talent in that organization.
Oh yeah, they do.
So yeah, I think they can. To your point, I mean they have the leverage to look at this guy and say, we don't want you anymore. Let's get rid of you. It's a tough thing to do, but they could do it. They do have some good young guys in their farm system.
Yeah, I mean,
they could get a lot for him right now.
He's a young guy. He's really full of confidence. He's also full of himself, and he just needs a dose of humble pie. He needs a woodshed moment.
I mean,
and I think that's what I just shared. Just step out of line, just one more time. Just
two of the biggest jerks in baseball, in my opinion, are him and the guy you were just talking about.
Oh, Manny Machado.
Oh, Manny? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Two of the biggest arrogant jerks, narcissists that you're ever going to meet.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them both go down, but whatever.
Let's see on the text line here. Boomer Sooner says, a good Friday, Blender Nation. Randy, beer me, please. And a little Boomer Sooner. Hi, Ralph. Hi. I've been told I can't sing Boomer Sooner anymore. Sorry. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, yeah, why?
It's showing favoritism. I can't do that.
Favoritism.
You guys cool it. I'm trying not to sing the Boomer Sooner song.
Sounds like one of those critics.
No, man. I'm trying to get out of singing the Boomer Sooner song. Don't say anything.
I think you should sing it.
Silly Wabbit says, you think I should sing it?
I would. I would sing it.
A Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner, Boomer Sooner.
I like it.
Silly Wabbit says, I think baseball players should work on a commission pay per productivity. Damn. Silly Wabbit. Did I get to CK? Good afternoon, Randy. I think I did.
I think you did, yeah.
I think I did. It wasn't crossed out. Hamilton Porter, have you ever seen a picture of Andre the Giant holding a beer can? Looks like a Barbie toy in his hand.
I bet.
And now you know what Big George's hands look like. And I'm not saying anything to offend Big George. He will tell you his hands are enormous. They're gigantor.
Is he proud of that?
Well, how can you not be? He's 7 foot tall.
How big are his feet?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that. Right. I bet when Big George goes into like a courtroom, there's a hush that comes over the crowd. The judge kind of like, George, one of those.
Wow.
Blissful Hayes says, happy Friday, Blender and Fourth Dimension. Obviously, it's time to start Slipknot Man and bring Booker off the bench. Time to start Slipknot Man.
Who's Slipknot Man?
That doesn't make any sense. No, I tried really hard to think about what that could mean, and it doesn't mean anything.
Slipknot Man.
That is a nothing sentence until I get a further explanation.
Mr. Wilbur says, I bet Manny doesn't even have solar on his house.
And I wouldn't put it on his house.
Bruno Baller, just in case, because it's your birthday and we don't hear from you on Monday, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. Stay well, bro. Thank you. Appreciate you very much, Boomer Sooner. Actually, Monday is my birthday.
Nice.
I don't normally say that in public settings, but thank you very much. Boomer Sooner, you got me good, Randy. Thanks. Oh God, Randy, stop singing that. I just threw up. Sorry, typo. Hook 'em hottie.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right, 888-368-1580. Let's keep going here. Aaron Jones. There was a report that came out today. Aaron Jones is willing to restructure his contract. He wants to stay in Green Bay. He wants to continue running for the Packers. The veteran running back of the team negotiated a contract restructure that will pay Jones $11 million in 2023 and with an 8.52 signing bonus, according to Adam Schefter. He'll have 2 years left on his deal per Schefter. Jones was, I guess, potentially a cut candidate this offseason when his cap hit is scheduled to rise to $20 million this offseason. Or is he trying to stay there because he knows Aaron Rodgers is coming back? That's what I want. But why would that affect him?
Yeah, I think it's probably more personal. Like, if your family's there and you're already settled in and you've been in Green Bay for a long time.
He has played for Green Bay his entire career.
Yeah.
That's true.
Why leave? Why go anywhere else? Because then you'd have to pack up and move. Some people can do it easily, don't care, doesn't bother them. Other people, when they find a spot that feels like home, they try to stay there.
Yeah, it looks like the Packers are going to be cleaning house. They've got a lot to do too because they're in cap. They're in over the cap hell. They're going to have to do something, especially if Rodgers comes back. If they were to trade Rodgers, that would clear up a lot of cap space. I don't know. Do you think that the Green Bay Packers are considering Jordan Love as their number one quarterback? I don't see how. Every time he's come in, the last time I guess he looked okay.
Yeah, I actually think that they're more comfortable with him now. They feel like he's made some progress, and so they're more okay with, okay, Jordan Love can run this football team, and we can be an all right football team, as opposed to how they felt the year before, where they really thought legitimately Jordan Love might actually not be any good.
So let me ask you this. We're right up against a break. Let me ask you this. Over under wins with Aaron Rodgers, over under wins without Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we could do it coming back from the break, because I would have to see.
You guys want to think on it for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, and I think they put out the who are the Packers playing, so we can find. We don't have the order it's happening in. But we can
Does that matter? I mean, they're playing other NFL teams. Does that matter? They're going to play the Bears twice. You're going to play the Lions twice.
Yeah, but I'm saying if your schedule ends
play
up
the Vikings twice,
for instance, if your schedule ends up having you run into the AFC West, then I'm going to feel a little bit differently about it than if you're running into the AFC South. Yeah.
Good point. All right. When we come back, we'll talk about the over-under Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay or Aaron Rodgers not in Green Bay. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-279-0433 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-279-0433. That's 800-279-0433. What do you have to lose? Call 800-279-0433. Again, 800-279-0433.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
GCU men's basketball is back on The Fanatic. Listen along with Lopes insider Paul Coro and the voice of the Lopes, Michael Potter, for every moment of exciting Lopes action.
Friday night, the Lopes welcome in Abilene Christian. Tip time is 9 p.m. live from the GCU Arena.
Listen all season long as the Lopes make their way through the WAC and try to punch their ticket into the madness of March. It's GCU Lopes basketball, only on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Should be a fun game tonight. 8:45 is the pregame with Michael Potter, Paul Coro. 9 o'clock is tip time here on the big station, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, as we are rolling through the afternoon, heading towards 6 p.m. Saturday, Seton Hall at UConn, 10 a.m. Baylor at Kansas at 1:45. And then on Saturday evening at 7, it's St. Mary's at Sunny Slope Boys Open Division Basketball Quarterfinals. That's right here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. We were talking before the break about the Packers and trying to get out of the cap space held, and Aaron Rodgers reworking a contract with him. After that rework, the Packers still about $4 million over the cap. If Aaron Rodgers stays with the Packers, that's going to hurt. He might restructure his contract, but I kind of doubt it. Right now, he's taking hallucinogenics and sitting in a dark room. So
he's gone.
The ghost will tell him, don't give up any money. All the ghosts that he's going to see. But moving on here, my question to both of you and to you, Fourth Dimension, over under. What are the Packers' chances? What's their record? How many wins will they have with Aaron Rodgers, without Aaron Rodgers in the next season? And Keon, you wanted to investigate their schedule. I'll begin with you, sir.
Well, hold on. Let me get myself on the air. All right. So,
oh, you were on the air. Oh, maybe you weren't.
It turns out I was not. So, yeah. If they have Aaron Rodgers, I think because of the way they ended the season last year and they were sort of figuring some stuff out, I think they could win like 8-9 games.
With Aaron Rodgers.
With Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Now, what about without Aaron Rodgers?
Like 6.
Really going to give him 6?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at this. They play the NFC South, so that helps. You know, you got the Bears in the division, and then I think the Packers are going to be better, sort of than how they finished last year. So you play 3 teams from other divisions that correspond with where you finished in your division. So the result is that they end up playing the Rams, the Giants, and the Steelers. I think they'll be better than the Giants and the Steelers.
Oh, they couldn't be better against the Giants. At least, I mean, with the coach of the year, Brian Daboll. Are you kidding me? That team's gonna have at least 16 wins next year. Come on, he's the new head coach of the year, right? Isn't that what I heard? They made him coach of the year, right?
They went from like 4th pick of the draft to the playoffs. Yeah.
Doug Peterson should have won. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Ralph.
It's good to know where you stand.
We haven't heard it at all before.
Yeah, he's so
You've
reserved.
never heard that before.
You're so reserved in your opinions.
It never comes up.
So, looking at strength of schedule for next year, they're sitting at 24. So their schedule's not that bad. It's actually kind of easy.
So with Aaron Rodgers, how many wins?
You know, I don't agree with Keon. I was thinking a higher number than that. I was thinking about 12 with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm thinking without Aaron Rodgers now. And Jared, we don't know Jordan Love and what he really could do yet. He hasn't come into a season as the guy, and I think that makes a difference when you come into the season as the guy versus a backup that has to figure it out every once in a while. Look at Geno Smith, right? I mean, he came in as the guy, and it was a big deal. I think with Jordan Love, I think they can win 9 games.
Wow. Okay.
And I think that's where they're going. So I think Jordan Love's going to be the guy.
But here's kind of the wrench in the monkey works. Historically, the Gutekunst is not he's not drafted very well. I mean, last year, who did he bring in? I mean, it wasn't a receiver, and the receiver core is depleted there. And you have, a Hall of Fame quarterback that's known to pass the ball, and you don't bring any receivers in, any new talent in to help yourself out. I mean, what are they going to do in this draft?
I don't know as much in the draft, but I think that probably if Rodgers is gone, which I think he is, I mean, I think they're going to dabble in free agency a bit as well and do some things to put something around Jordan Love that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, and that I think.
And I actually didn't think that he did a bad job drafting last year, but he went more defense than offense. Drafted Quay Walker, who I thought was an impact player right away, even though he obviously had the stupid play in the Lions game where he pushes the trainer and then gets kicked from the game.
Yeah.
But as far as the talent goes, he clearly has it. They drafted Devontae Wyatt from Georgia. Again, guy came in immediately, made an impact. And then Christian Watson, the receiver they drafted in the 2nd round, that panned out eventually. It took a while. But when he finally figured it out, him and Rodgers did seem to have a connection there. And then later they were able to draft Romeo Doubs. So I don't think Gutekunst is a bad drafter. I just think that his mindset is I'm not going to use high picks on receivers. And I think that's insane. But other than that, like, he can obviously ID talent and add it to a team. I think he's not bad.
CK says, Ralph, I got a hang on, it's Ralph. I got a text from Manny and Fernando. They want to endorse Harmon Solar free of charge.
Pass.
Kyle G says, great for us Packer. Oh, wait a minute. It picked the wrong one because it's updating so fast. Kyle G says, great for us Packer fans to keep Jones. Also, Rogers has mentioned on the McAfee show. Yeah, it's I won't say anything. On the McAfee show that if he comes back to Green Bay, he'd have to restructure his contract. So he's expecting that anyway. I think he probably would if he comes back. And by the way, Aaron Rodgers being on I lost a lot of respect for Pat McAfee. He just looked like a little poodle every time he has Rodgers on there, And then Rodgers, when AJ Hawk says, Aaron, are you going to come back and be on our show again next year? And he says, I would like to do that. Pat McAfee almost wet himself. He was like, ooh, yay. Ooh, goody. I mean, I
understand you lost some respect, but when it comes to, that's Pat McAfee's business. The person who has drawn the most eyeballs to that show is Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yes.
So, I mean,
oh, goody.
Money. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what he's saying. I
don't know.
It's a business decision. I
thought it was a poodle moment there. Blissful. I'm sorry. Did I offend Poodle? Let me take a moment to go ahead and apologize if I have offended any Poodles owners out there or the Poodle Owner Association of America. I was just making a joke.
Oh, wow.
Please forgive me. That is all. Hey, I'm just covering the station there. Bruno Baller says, not sure you mentioned it, but looks like the Packers will play the third place schedule in the upcoming season, if that matters. Yeah, I think we talked about that. Blissful Hayes says Cardinals should sign Aaron Rodgers. You wish. CK says, Ralph, I got a text from Manny and Fernando. Okay. It's the same one you sent just a few minutes ago.
And the answer is still no.
Yeah. I know you did. Yeah. Oh, now Bruno Baller is asking Ralph to give him a breakdown. He's done his research on the XFL. Let's hear your breakdown.
My breakdown?
Yours and Keon's. Yeah.
I haven't broken it down yet. I am gonna watch it. I mean, I'll be honest with you.
Wow. Okay.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch USFL too. I'm a Seattle Dragons fan. That's who I'm gonna pull for. Why? I can't give you a darn good reason why, other than that they're from Seattle and we don't have a team in LA. So I don't know yet. I'll give you a breakdown next week after I've been able to actually watch some of these games and see some of these guys play. But I think, it's going to be.
How about you, Keon? Let's hear your breakdown of the XFL.
I mean, outside of the fact that the DC Defenders, despite being an XFL team, somehow have a better logo and potentially name than the Washington Commanders. Outside of that, no, I got nothing for you. There's no breakdown. I will not be watching the XFL. Don't plan on it. Don't have any. I mean, there'll be plenty of other things for me to watch and pay attention to. So, basketball, college hoops, NBA. I'm all good.
CK says, Keon, why does this keep doing this? Hamilton Porter says, I lost respect for Pat McAfee when he started wrestling the WWE. Is he wrestling in WWE?
He probably had a guest appearance, but who, you get marginally famous. They invite you on the
WWE. You think they would invite you and me? I mean, I can't wrestle. I've got a horrible back, but I mean,
I don't think that. I don't know. It didn't stop LeVar Ball.
Huh?
He went on there
on the WWE.
Yeah,
LeVar Ball
was goofy in the ring, beat up some people, and left. It's the WWE. It's not real.
I mean, Randy, you could wear like a tuxedo and manage Keon.
Hey, now do I get?
You could have Keon and Izzy. They could be a tag team.
Oh, there we go.
That would work. I could see
the terrible twins from Phoenix.
There we go.
Listen, brother.
Terrible twins.
My guys are going to take over this WWE. Man,
Since the
I've already
original
got it.
twins left, Mikael Bridges and Cam Johnson, be it easier the terrible twins
there we
to
go.
replace them
The terrible twins.
because we're not quite as good.
I know. I can
Look,
see
brother.
I can see you flying off the rope. That'd be kind of cool.
No, it would be fun. I would do it.
We got something here.
I think we do. Ralph, what would you play? I mean, what part would you play in all of this? If
I'd
I'm
sit, in
gonna
the,
be the
I'd sit in the
manager.
first row and just laugh. I mean, because that's about as far as I can go.
Would you hand the table up to either Keon or Izzy?
I would give him a chair to throw or hit somebody.
Yeah,
with.
that-
Yeah, I could help
nice.
you that way.
So Ralph would be the prop man.
I'd
There
be
we
the
go.
prop guy.
There we
Yeah.
go. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, is the Washington XFL team paying royalties for the defender's name to the Lakers game league team?
The G League team.
Oh, G League team?
Probably not. Like, do you know how many teams in sports are just called the Bulldogs? Like, you'd be having the name is not the same.
38 teams at least have the
You know,
Bulldogs moniker.
It's about logos.
I think the most common name in sports is the Eagles. Like
Yeah. It is.
you just you're not paying out anything for that unless you specifically use the logo and you haven't asked for permission.
You guys know how we're always bagging on referees and umpires and all that business. Well, in the wake of a high-profile missed call that went up against, look, the Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James last month, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said officials are, quote, absolutely held accountable, end quote, and disciplined for making such errors. Quote, we don't publicize discipline for officials. We don't think that will be appropriate. But their assignments are affected by the quality of their calls, whether or not they progress into the playoffs, and then round by round is impacted by the accuracy of their calls and their demeanor on the floor. So there is a system to overseeing and making those judgments about officials. But more to your earlier point about getting the calls right, that's again not a new issue, end quote.
So I think Adam Silver, that really sounds nice. And I really want to believe you. But when you see some of these officials that are actually in the playoffs and you've seen them in the season and they're horrendous, I think you're I'm going to call BS on you right now.
I'm going to call BS a little bit too, because every time I tune into the NBA playoffs and I see, and I'm going to try and keep my language FCC appropriate. I see damn Tony Brothers out there. There is no justice in this world, and there's no justice in your league. If Tony Brothers makes the playoffs and is in that rotation, he's horrible. He's awful. And especially if we're talking about going on demeanor, Tony Brothers has an enemy every game that he referees, and you don't know who it's going to be until the game starts. This is not like a Chris Paul and somebody thing. Tony Brothers, I don't get the guy, but all I know is I see, a bald head, and I go, please don't let it be him. And then he turns around and I see the mustache and I go, oh no, it's Tony Brothers. It's damn Tony Brothers. That is my literal feeling every game I watch and I see him out there on the floor.
But Adam Silver made a good speech, though. It was good.
So I do think the NBA is one of the more transparent leagues when it comes to referees. I mean,
you think so?
They give you the 2-minute report at the end of the game. They'll at least admit, like, okay, we should have called this correctly. We shouldn't have called this, that kind of thing. I don't know any other league doing that. At least okay, the league knows they screwed up. It's not
going to do anything about it.
Yeah, but it's not. But it's not nothing. The NFL will just sit there and just leave you in the darkness. Just, that guy completely botched that call, and you're guessing what was he thinking. You have no explanation except from Dean Blandino or somebody who's no longer an official in the league.
Did you just say?
I know what I said. I couldn't think of another.
Dean Blandino.
I should have said Steratore or somebody.
Sexiest name in sports.
I couldn't remember another referee.
Hey there. You summoned me and I arrived.
It's time for commercial break.
What can I help you with, Keon?
Could have said hockey.
You don't summon up the
I
great
could have said hockey
love
league.
Dr. Dean Blandino.
I couldn't think of another name, and that was the name that popped into my head. And I didn't want there to be awkward silence. And I
Don't
knew
leave me hanging, bro.
as soon as I said it, he was going to play the music.
I've been very busy, it's just this side of Valentine's Day. That's the Lover's Day.
We know, Dean. We got you.
I hear you got your chassis lubed on Valentine's Day. Is that true?
I would not use those words, Dean, because that seems excessive.
Chassis lubed. Holy moly. That was
that somehow feels wrong the way you said it.
There's something about that.
I think we got a break coming up.
Chassis lubed.
Yeah.
I've never heard it referred to that way.
Did you get on the lift to lube the chassis?
Dean calls it the chassis lube.
Chassis
got his
lube.
chassis
Is
lube.
that how he refers to it?
He no longer squeaks when he walks.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we're going to talk more NFL, some NBA, and Derek Carr's making a visit this weekend in New York. We'll talk a little bit about that. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
One trip down Scottsdale Road, and it's obvious. Snowbird season is here. You know what else is on Scottsdale Road? The absolute best restaurant to take your out-of-town friends and family to. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for great dining without a show? Well, Kasai offers an awesome selection of Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily till 6 p.m. and enjoy the outdoor dining on the heated patio. So whether you're here for the open, the big game, or just the great Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. Take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse for dinnertainment. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com. Or call 480-607-1114.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of a new Samsung laundry set with extra large capacity, serving up a powerful yet gentle clean in just 28 minutes, making this the sound of savings on the best appliance brands. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Get up to 25% off select appliances, including Samsung. Ends March 1st. Pricing valid February 9th through March 1st, 2023. Gas Dry Extra, US only. See store online for details.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
It is the Daily Blender on this Friday, February 17th, in the year 2023. Michael Jordan's 60th birthday today. In case you're wondering what celebrities you might share a birthday with. Why couldn't he have been born 3 days later? So Michael Jordan and myself have a birthday on the same day.
That would be cool.
I mean, all I share is John Glenn, is orbiting the Earth in Friendship 7. That's what I share on my birthday.
It's not bad.
Well, it was my dad's birthday, but he's dead, so I don't get to do anything with him.
It's not bad though. I mean, it's something.
Well, okay, but I mean, Michael Jordan, come on.
I can't believe he's 60.
60 years old.
That's crazy.
Did you the other day? Did you hear what he did? He gave $10 million to make a wish.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man, good for him. 888-368-1580.
Oh,
CK says the new American dream, Keon Rose.
the new American dream. That's a lot of pressure, man.
Listen, Daddy, there's only one American dream, and you're listening to him right now, Daddy.
Thank you, Dusty. I don't need that pressure.
You're welcome, Keon. Congratulations on getting your chassis lubed.
So would you wear tights?
How does Dusty know that?
Dusty knows everything. Come on. Pinocchio, congratulations on getting your chassis lubed, Keon. I hope you rotated her tires. Thank you.
Listen.
Wow.
How did we wind up here?
I could go a long way with this, but I'm not going to.
It's Friday. You could spend all day on this, apparently.
Parlay Jay's got a good point. We were talking about Derek Carr. Cardinals should grab Derek Carr, then let him and Kyler fight for the starting job. That's what I said the other day. Didn't I say that earlier this week?
You said that earlier this week, and you also said it last week on Friday.
Yeah, I don't see that though.
Well, I mean, I don't see it either, but
pick up the phone and call his agent.
Yeah, $20 million 1 year, and you get to fight for the starting job, and let Kyler Murray come in here and have a little, competition.
But I think you're building the Cardinal offense more for a guy like Murray, and that's not who Carr is. I don't know.
Well, because you don't have an offensive coordinator yet. I mean, I think really.
Well, they're talking to one that makes no sense, but
Oh, great. Thanks.
Perfect. Looks like another bad hire, but
great. Blissful Hayes asked the eternal question: will the new Cardinals GM be able to draft without drinking 9 Jacket Cokes?
No,
I don't see what's wrong with that.
Well, the management shouldn't do it and drive. That's for sure.
As long as he's not driving.
Yeah.
He's just drafting. We'll take a kid out of Baton Rouge University.
Don't drink and draft either. There's
We're taking a punter over a first overall.
Some of the drafts before seemed like it was already happening.
Yeah.
I don't think you should do that.
It might take the pressure off.
We're gonna take the quarterback out of Saginaw State. Parlay J says, Mr. Wilbur says, so what you're saying is Tony Roberts is like the Michael Myers of the NBA. He'll stab anybody. Did Mike Myers, was he a stabber? Was he a slasher?
Yeah.
Who's the
Halloween.
but who's the chainsaw guy? I thought that was him. It's not him. I'm not a horror movie guy. So
Michael Myers is from Halloween.
So he's the slasher. He's the stabber guy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the other guy. What's his name? Saw. That's the guy. That's the chainsaw guy, right?
Right. Well, he does more than
he does.
He does.
Mostly just really screwed up stuff.
Yeah, really screwed
up. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre probably is the.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
A Booger Wolf says a Lakers fan spends on average of $2,000 at the dentist. They get charged $500 per gap. Go Suns.
What?
Booger Wolf
per gap.
I mean, what he said before was actually funnier. Lakers fans' breath smells so bad you don't know whether to give them a mint or a roll of toilet paper.
Booger Wolf is a volume shooter. Okay, not all the shots go.
Yeah,
but he shoots a lot of them, so he ends up making quite a few.
So you're saying he shoots blanks?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Ooh. Maybe him and Dean Blandino should get together.
Straight fire.
Straight fire.
Dean Blandino does not shoot blanks. Let me tell you that right now. Hefty Lefty says lead singer of Green Day turns 50 today, just in case you want to, feel even older.
Wow.
Now that doesn't help. That does not help.
Michael Jordan and I'm 60 right now. I'm 60. So we share. We share.
Yesterday he was just at North Carolina.
Seems like just yesterday he was 59. The Reaper says Leatherface is a Texas Texas Chainsaw
Yes.
Massacre.
That's right.
I'm not a big horror person either,
Leatherface.
so I don't know all the movies exactly. Like, I don't know all the bad guys in the movies, but
Apparently, according to Hefty Lefty, who's done some research, I share birthdays with Cindy Crawford and Rihanna, and one of the fruits of David Beckham's loin. Well, that's just certainly comforting. Thank
sure.
you. 888-368-1580. One of the things I want to go back before I go forward. One of the things that I picked out of the commissioner's quote here was about the referees when he said their assignments are affected by the quality of their calls, whether or not they progress into the playoffs, and then round by round is impacted by the accuracy of their calls. Right there, to me, if I'm the commissioner of basketball, and I know what he meant by it, but with all that floating out there about games being rigged and that sort of thing, I'm not going to say that.
No,
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to give any credence to anybody out there with any sort of, conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
See?
I just think with him, because
I remember last year. No, not last. Was it last year when what's his face that CP3 doesn't get along with, and he doesn't get along with CP3? What's the ref's name? Remember? And we were saying, well, you would think he wouldn't be a part of this this game here. He'd be at some other game.
Scott Foster.
Yeah,
he does playoffs.
He does.
He does playoffs, but he and CP3 have a history. And Keon and I were both wondering, okay, why is he calling this game?
Because he typically calls playoff games that CP3's in.
See, and
and it's always like pivotal, like game 6s or game 7s, and then there's Scott Foster. You go, no,
and
damn it!
I'm a big conspiracy guy ever since the Suns and San Antonio series way back when.
I lived in San Antonio at the time, and everybody in San Antonio was like, "Wow, the refs are." The refs are crooked.
I told you.
People in that city were like, "Yeah, this isn't right, man."
Derek Carr is headed to the Big Apple. Mike Garafolo, I know it's Garofalo. Garofalo of the NFL media reports Carr will visit the Jets. He met with the Saints before he was released from the Raiders last week, and now he's meeting with the Jets owner Woody Johnson.
Not a good name. It's not a good name. He needs to change his name.
Sorry.
I like to know what his
well,
middle
no,
name is.
because the thing is, now that he's incredibly wealthy, he's the guy that just has a ridiculous name that dares you to say something.
And what was his nickname growing up, right? What did the kids call him? Did they call him Limpy? Did they, did they call him Woody?
Hey, Stiffy.
Stiffy, yeah, right?
Woody Johnson has made no secret about his willingness to spend on a veteran quarterback this offseason. See what I mean?
Hello, Friday.
Whew. The Jets hired Todd Downing as their passing game coordinator this week. Downing was the Raiders quarterbacks coach and offensive coordinator early in Carr's career. So there's a natural fit right there, a natural connection. So what do you guys say? Derek Carr going to the Jets. Is this the piece the Jets need to get over the hump? I mean, like we talked a little about it yesterday, I think, Keon, but now it's actually happened. There's no speculation. Derek Carr is visiting the Jets, and if they take a chance on him, does that make the Jets a playoff contender?
Yes. For the main reason of they were a pretty good team when Mike White was their quarterback. Mike White.
Boy, that's true.
He
just got his ass beat.
I mean, he got destroyed, and part of it was okay. The offensive lines, Mekhi Becton and some other guys went down, and so they just couldn't protect him. But if they had like a real quarterback, not just Mike White, not just a guy that's like managing, and the defense is eventually going to strangle whoever it is that they're playing, but someone who could really put points on the board, the Jets could be really scary and at least be a playoff team.
See, I thought Derek Carr did really well this year. I mean, there were some games that I think his receivers let him down. Now, last year, his receivers let him down as well. I mean, he put the ball
on target, and the guys wouldn't catch the ball. But I mean, this year, I just don't think they used the talent that they had. I just don't. I think under this current administration, the head coach, and I just don't think they used what they had at their disposal. And I think that hurt Derek Carr in the long run.
I think the Jets are the perfect fit for Derek Carr, but I don't think he's going to wind up there. But I do think if he did, to Keon's point, I think they've got the pieces in place where they're a contender instantly and they could be dangerous. For some reason, I just feel he's going to wind up with New Orleans. I don't know why.
Really? He just got this gut instinct that he's going to end up as a Saint.
Yeah, I really do. But I think the Jets is a better fit.
How do you feel about him in New Orleans? Does he help the team or does he waste his talent?
I think he does. I think that's a talented group down there too. I think they need a quarterback. I mean, especially in the division they're in, they put a quarterback in there and they win the division.
Yeah, the first team in that division to get a quarterback wins it. It's
right. But to me, the Jets are just they're a better fit. They're a more complete team. There's Bryce Hall's coming up. Hopefully, he'll be back next year. They've got the weapons. I mean, they've got a defense. Make sure the guys in the line stay healthy and they can protect him, and he could do some serious damage there.
Well, I mean, just by the very fact that he's going to meet with the Jets, that means they've given up on the old Cougar guy. What's his
Zach
name?
Wilson?
Zach Wilson.
And I think Robert Salah is doing he's saying all the right things publicly about how they haven't given up on Zach yet, but Zach doesn't get it. Like that. That's really what it comes. Like the dude just does not get it, and he does, and it's not that he's making mistakes, because young guys make mistakes, and if you're in the New York spotlight, you're going to make mistakes. He doesn't appear to be learning from them.
But Derek Carr could help him.
It seems like to me that Zach Wilson is like Johnny Football. You know what I mean? He came in here kind of full of steam. He's a gunslinger. Likes to do things. Is always a rebel. He's a bit of a rebel. You're exactly right. He hasn't really learned. He's not. You don't see any discipline out of him. He's just kind of swagger out there. And I don't think that he belongs in New York City. I'll be honest with you. I think this kid doesn't belong in the NFL.
These young guys, they don't come in humble anymore. I mean, they come in being told how great they are their whole lives. And you have these issues. I think if he could get behind a guy like Derek Carr, and Derek Carr could just pull him aside and just kind of smack him upside the head and say, let me tell you what I've been through, man. And let me tell you what this is really about, and what you need to do. Maybe he can listen and get there, or maybe he'll just fall off. I don't know.
Maybe.
He's got talent. I mean, I just think he's an absolute train wreck too right now, but he could use a guy like Derek Carr in front of him.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Derek Carr visiting with the Jets. He'll be there this weekend, and I guess we'll find out more on Monday when we continue. So this is kind of funny. Did you guys see the streaker at the Phoenix Open?
Yeah.
The dude on the 16th that ran out there, did a bit of a pole dance on the flag. And then,
I did hear about him. Yeah,
he eluded the security somehow, which I find that hard to believe. He eluded them. Ended up swimming to the 18th when he went into the lake there right off of the 17th. Swam across to the 18th. I guess the guy was wearing a pair of underwear that this company noticed. Okay, why are you watching this guy's underwear on TV? And the underwear company has decided that they're going to go ahead and they're going to pay his bail. He was arrested on trespassing, disorderly conduct, failure to obey a lawful order. Failure to obey a law. Put some clothes on. And then the streaker says, all I wanted to do was put a smile on people's faces. Might I recommend another set of attire and tell jokes?
Yeah. Stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You could be a clown.
Yeah. Well,
you already are a clown, so just put the face paint on, and then
he painted it on his chest, Max Savage. And he had these little tiny, the underwear company, they're going to pay his fine. So I guess he's going to get off scot-free there. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
One trip down Scottsdale Road, and it's obvious. Snowbird season is here. You know what else is on Scottsdale Road? The absolute best restaurant to take your out-of-town friends and family to. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for great dining without a show? Well, Kasai offers an awesome selection of Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily till 6 p.m. and enjoy the outdoor dining on the heated patio. So whether you're here for the open, the big game, or just a great Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. Take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse for dinnertainment. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com. Or call 480-607-1114.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of a new Samsung laundry set with extra large capacity, serving up a powerful yet gentle clean in just 28 minutes, making this the sound of savings on the best appliance brands. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Get up to 25% off select appliances, including Samsung. Ends March 1st. Pricing valid February 9th through March 1st, 2023. Gas Dry Extra, US only. See store online for details.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third
hour. Quiet, people, sit down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome everybody to the third hour on this Friday edition of the Daily Blender on February 17th. Right over there, that is the man, the myth, the legend. That's Ralph Romano from Harman Solar. Next to him, the sexiest man in Sports Talk Radio, Keon Rose. And we are broadcasting live from the Harman Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale from the CRC Megaplex. You're texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580, where Booger Wolf is saying, if you stare a Laker fan directly in the eyes for more than 3 seconds, you start to develop Bell's palsy. Go Suns. Hi, Ralphie.
Hi.
Booger Wolf again with more stuff. So I was reading this today, guys. The Suns, as I said when they got KD, the Suns are not done yet, and this came to my mind when I was reading it from NBC Sports. Kevin Love working on a buyout from the Cleveland Cavaliers that would make him a free agent. Miami Heat, a team looking to add size on the buyout market, was the first name to come up, but there's it looks like that perhaps maybe the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors may also be in need of his services for their teams. What do you guys think about that? 888-368-1580. Do the Suns need to add Kevin Love? All right, the guy's got a championship already, at least one, maybe two. He's still got some size. You know, he's a guy that can contribute, obviously, off the bench, and he does add size.
How old is he? He's up there, isn't he? Not that I'm an ageist or anything.
Right. No, Kevin Love is 34.
Yeah, okay.
He's 34, Ralph.
So not bad. Not bad. You know, he can still play. if you brought in Kevin Love, it wouldn't be Kevin Love to start.
He can still contribute, averaging 8.5 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, shooting 35.4% from 3-point land. I mean, look,
that's not a bad move for them if they bring him in off the bench.
You bring him in, you say, look, we're going to be a contender. You come in. Now you got some size there. You got somebody, now you got, 3 guys that are up there. Kevin Love's not 7 feet, but he's up there.
He's 6'8". Not
you know
small.
what I mean?
And
He's
always been a great rebounder.
It's a role player.
I don't know. How do you feel about it, Keon?
I like it. I think they should go out and do it. Because if you add Kevin Love to this team, what your bench would look like would be, you'd have Kevin Love, you'd have Terrence Ross, you'd have, either Torrey Craig, TJ Warren, you'd have Josh Okogie potentially, and then maybe Damian Lee at your point. Like that. That's a nice second unit immediately. And then, he also brings that kind of locker room presence as well. I'm kind of thinking about what the Celtics have been able to add by adding Blake Griffin to their team. Blake Griffin's not there to be this dominant force. He doesn't have to be, but he does a lot of the little things very well. And because of his experience in the league, he does a lot in that locker room. So I think you add Kevin Love, it could be an addition like that.
So, I mean, Ralph, does this make the Suns better?
Oh, I think it does. I mean, and I think for what Keon just hit on right there, to me, it's the guy that's been there, done that in the locker room that can help them, especially the young guys, really help them be better. You want those guys. That's something when I remember the Lakers. I mean, they did that a lot, in the 90s. I'm not the 90s, but 2000, early 2000s and stuff around Shaq and Kobe. They bring in those role guys. That would be that second unit, and that second unit is so important in the playoffs. So yeah, I think it'd be a really smart move for them as long as he doesn't break the bank, which I don't think he would. So
because he's getting bought out. So
he's going to get bought out. I think it's $29 million or something. I saw it here a minute ago. He's in the final year of his contract, paying him $28.9 million.
Yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer move.
So how does this match up if the Suns were to play Dallas again in the playoffs? I mean, is this a good pickup for example, to take on Luka and the Dallas Mavericks?
Yeah, I mean, anything would help just because now you're talking about depth. Because I don't know how you stop Kyrie and or Luka from scoring. Those two guys are going to get the buckets that they're going to get. So how do you take everybody else out of the game? And how do you stop, their bench from also being an impact unit in the game? Well, if your bench can outscore their bench, you're already on the right track. And then now it's a matter of how do we get KD going? How do you get, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker going so that you can score more points than Kyrie and Luka? Because honest to God, I haven't seen anybody figure out how to stop those two guys yet since they've been playing together.
Dr. Danger on the text line says if they pick up Love, they'll have to release Ish Wainwright. Is that a move the Suns want to do?
I would hate it just because I like Ish, and I think that he's been really key to being a bench player on this team. And anytime they've asked him to step up and be in the starting unit, he competes. So I would hate to lose Ish Wainwright. I think that'd be tough. But I think what Kevin Love can give you shooting wise, I think what Kevin Love can give you as a rebounder, and I think what Kevin Love can give you as an experienced player, I still think you make the move.
But do we sign him for more than just this season? Is he going to be a rental player like they have in baseball? Is this going to be a guy that's going to be one and done with us?
Maybe. I think I don't know how much you want to commit to a Kevin Love long term, just because defense has never been his strength, and so you add Kevin Love to your team, he can obviously help you, but I don't know how long he can help you at a high level unless you're just saying, hey, Kevin Love, be a locker room guy.
So, Ralph, I saw you making a hand gesture. Are you for getting rid of Ish Wainwright to bring in Kevin Love?
I'm not going to allow anybody with the name of Ish on my team. So for that reason alone, he's gone.
What if we just add Squa in the middle? I mean, at the beginning. So
yeah, no, I like the idea of bringing Kevin Love on. I think it's like you just said. I think he's a rental. He's going to be just for this season. You're not going to commit to him long term. Let him come help you get a ring. I mean, that's what you're trying to do anyway, right? We're not got KD. You're trying to get a ring. Go get this guy.
All right. 888-368-1580. Blissful Hayes says Kevin Love is washed up. Suns shouldn't sign him. But Blissful Hayes, did you hear what we were saying? just for the stretch.
You wouldn't, and yeah, you wouldn't be signing Kevin Love to be your starting anything.
Right.
So I washed up.
He's not washed up for his purpose.
Yeah, for the purpose. Yeah, for the purposes that you're trying to add him to the team for. Because I mean, again, and this is the reason why I went to Blake Griffin and the Celtics as an example. You could make that argument about Blake Griffin, but watch the Celtics when Blake Griffin is out there on the floor. He's directing traffic. He's an amazing passer, which Kevin Love also is. I think the comparison there is a pretty strong one, because what Blake Griffin is giving the Celtics, he's okay with doing the little dirty work things at this stage in his career. You're not asking him to go out there and score 20 a night. If he gives you 8 or 9 off the bench and gets you 6 or 7 rebounds, that's a good night.
So who else could the Suns be targeting down the stretch here besides Kevin Love? Is there somebody else out there that you could think of that would be a good fit for the Phoenix Suns down the stretch?
I can pull up some people who are in that kind of buyout stage. It's hard to tell because but there are a lot of guys who have already been bought out, but there are some who haven't been bought out yet, and you're kind of just expecting that it might happen. So I think that there's probably a handful of guys. I don't think the Suns are done wheeling and dealing just yet.
All right, 888-368-1580. Parlay J says, okay, never mind. You guys made a good point. I changed my mind. He's talking about they don't need him between Ayton and Durant. The Suns are covered on size. And then he's saying, okay, never mind. You changed my mind. You make a good point. Cardinal Art says, Randy, pour me up a rye whiskey. And Love going to play with his best bud LeBron. Mark my words. So you think that he's going to go to Los Angeles Lakers?
Well, the Lakers have been in contact with us.
Yeah, and it's a good move for the Lakers.
And for all the same reasons that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And I think that the Lakers might even have an inside track on it because of LeBron and Kevin Love's relationship, which is that they've played together, they've won a championship together, they're good friends. I don't think Kevin would have a problem going back and playing with LeBron a second time.
Love went to UCLA too, didn't he? So
yeah.
So he's a home
UCLA.
guy. So.
Yeah, so he's an LA guy as well. Yeah.
CK says Love is washed. Why is a playoff team willing to buy him out? I'd rather keep Ish. If James needs to have Love, cut Jock.
Well, now hold on. The playoff team isn't buying out the contract.
No,
the
it'd be
Cavs
the Cleveland
would
Cavaliers.
buy.
Yeah.
So you're not paying a whole lot for a guy who can help you. The washed up thing doesn't do anything for me because he's 34. I'm sorry. He's just not washed up. If you're asking him to go out there and be your starting power forward, okay, then yeah, I get the washed up stuff. But you're saying Kevin Love, come off the bench, give me 12 good minutes. That's not he's not washed up for those purposes. And some team that's a playoff contender is going to go after Kevin Love. So if you're the Suns, why not just have it be you?
Let's see, Jagdog throwing some shade at the Los Angeles Lakers. What's the difference between a Los Angeles Laker fan and a carp? One is a bottom-feeding scum sucker. The other one's a fish. Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
That's some fire right there.
That's straight fire.
Straight fire.
All right. CK says Cavaliers are a playoff team, and they're cutting him. Quote, buying him out.
Yes, because they're the ones that are paying more money than they like for what he's capable of doing. But once they buy him out, if you're the Suns, if you're the Lakers, if you're anybody else, you would not be paying him the massive contract that he originally had. That's why you'd be buying him out. Cap space up.
888-368-1580. We got a few minutes to talk here, and I want to. This is now way too early. Okay. I saw this on Yahoo. So let's switch gears. We go from Kevin Love. We're going to baseball now. MLB betting odds from Astros to Athletics. Here's each team's preseason win total. Let's talk about the Washington Nationals here. Let me scroll
do we have to?
The hell down here.
Do we have to?
Yeah, you guys.
I can tell you. I can tell you what's going to be
all the way down here
about the Washington Nationals. They're
Washington
bad.
Nationals.
They're going to be real bad this year.
Oh, okay. Here we are. The Washington Nationals, worst team in baseball last season, finishing just 55 wins.
I noticed.
Projected to finish in the basement again this season. They parted ways with arguably their two most feared hitters in Nelson Cruz and Luke Vogt. And they've been replaced by Dominic Smith and Heimer Candelario. Okay, so what do you think, Keon? What's Washington Nationals over under? What do you think?
What's the number there for the?
Well, I mean, what do you think it's going to be?
Oh, what do I think it's going to be?
And then I'll tell you what they say here.
I think it's going to be like 50.
You think it's going to be 50 wins?
Yeah, I mean, because they had 55 last year. They got objectively worse. Better in the farm system, but worse on the team that's going to be playing in the majors right now.
All right.
Yeah, 50.
All right, Ralph, you care to jump in on this? Washington Nationals.
I'll give them a little more than that. I'll say 62.
All right, you're both wrong. 59.5 wins is what they're
I'm going to take the under on that so hard.
Don't feel bad, Keon, because they're saying the Oakland A's are going to be at 59.5 wins as well.
How about that?
Because Oakland has been just unloading their best people as well.
Yeah, this is what they do.
Good company right there.
Cincinnati Reds. You guys want to take a gander at that? Cincinnati did most of its selling prior to last season, resulted in a 62-win season. Parted ways with Mike Moustakas and Donovan Solano. Will Myers and Kevin Newman were brought in as replacements, while Luke Weaver should eat some innings for a young pitching staff. What do you guys think? Cincinnati Reds. Go ahead, Ralph.
I like their pitching staff. Green is a guy that went to my high school. I really like that kid. I think 64.
64, okay. Keon?
I'll go 65. Somewhere in that ballpark.
All right.
This is like Price is Right.
Yeah. Cincinnati Reds will be 65.5. So you guys are real close right there.
Nice.
Let's see here. Who do we want to talk about? This is interesting here. Arizona Diamondbacks. What do you guys think? Diamondbacks won 74 games last year, which, by the way, was over what they said. I was catching a lot of flack on this very text line. Somebody was saying they're going to win 62 games. They'll have 100 losses.
To be
they
fair,
suck.
I also said that. So
they're going to be the worst team in baseball. I knew they weren't going to be great, but I didn't expect they were going to be 75.5 wins. What do you guys think?
Look, Diamondbacks have some nice young talent on that roster this year.
Yeah.
They have a couple of exciting players to watch. I think they might do a little better than people want to think.
Okay.
It was 74 last year, you said?
It was 74 wins last year, yes.
Yeah, I think they're going to improve on that. I think they could do 80 this year.
All right, you're saying 80. All right, Keon, what do you got?
I think they probably do 75 again.
75.
I just haven't seen them take a giant step forward, but they haven't gotten worse.
75.5. They've added Kyle Lewis and Evan Longoria, which is another guy.
I don't even look at that with them. To me, it's not about that. It's about the youth, and they do have some good youth. And I think you might see some of these guys really step up this year.
I think you're right. If they keep that core of young players on this team, I think you're right. I just
do it that way.
Yeah,
Evan Longoria,
I just think the division is so tough too. It's just
it is.
And what does Longo give you in this? Come on, in this division, what does Longo give you?
Some leadership.
Okay,
for these young guys. I mean, I think that's what you're going to get from him. Not much.
All right.
Not
All
much
right.
else.
Everybody wants to know about the Cubbies. What do you think, Keon? Cubbies over under?
What were they last year?
74 games last year.
74. I'll go 70. I think there's
70. Okay.
There's some regression going on.
All right. Keep in mind they've added Dansby Swanson and Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Cody Bellinger does with them because I think
and Eric Hosmer. They've added him.
Okay, I didn't even know they added Hosmer or
they've
or
added some talent.
actually.
They're going to
And Trey Mancini. They've added Trey Mancini.
I think they probably win 84.
84. All right, Keon, you want to adjust yours?
Yeah, I'll jump up to like 70, 78.
78. All right. According to this, the Chicago Cubs over under is 77.5.
That's pretty good.
How about the Giants? Last year won 107 games in 2021, 81 wins in 2022. They have reworked some of their stuff. They of course lost Evan Longoria, but they brought in Mitch Haniger, Michael Conforto, Carlos Rodon left for the Yankees. I mean, what do you got, Keon?
I think
81 last year.
I think they're right at 81 again. Like
Okay.
right at 80, 81. Yeah.
Ralph, I know this is hard for you to do because San Francisco Giants. What do you think?
I want to say 11.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, since I can't do that. I think they're going to be around 82.
80 and a half is what odds makers have them at. 80 and a half wins.
Yeah, makes sense.
The Los Angeles Angels with Shohei and Mike Trout. By the way, Mike Trout making it his mission this year to keep Shohei on the Angels. I don't think it's going to work.
No.
They brought in Gio Urshela and Brandon Drury and Hunter Renfroe to bolster a lineup around these two studs. Tyler Anderson signed to boost the rotation. Could this be the year the Angels break through? What do you got, Keon?
Sorry. Every time I hear Gio Urshela's name, I just hear John Sterling going, Gio Urshela, the happiest fella.
What were they last year?
73 wins last year.
I'll go like 76.
Ralph?
74.
The odds makers have them at 81 and a half wins.
Oh,
really?
No way.
Really?
81 and a half.
Somebody's high.
Chicago White Sox, they have the odds makers have them at 83 and a half wins, which I would have thought, no way, not this season. But yeah, they've got them at 82 and a half wins this year.
Let's talk Dodgers.
I'm getting there. Getting there, gosh.
Bit patient.
Let's see here. How about the Seattle Mariners? That's an interesting one. What do you guys think?
I think the number is probably 90.
88 and a half wins.
Really?
Odds makers have them.
It's a good team.
Yeah, I'm really high on the Mariners, though.
The San Diego Padres, they have them at 93 and a half wins. They got the Mets at 94 and a half wins. There's no way. They lost Jacob deGrom. They didn't do anything but picked up, what's his name from Houston? Come on, man.
The Mets?
Yeah.
The Mets tried to buy everything and everybody this offseason. I don't know if it's going to help them, but they threw money in every possible direction.
Well, I wish we would have picked up Jake deGrom or Taijuan Walker. We had Taijuan for a while, but alas, another Arizona Diamondbacks great trade, I'm sure. The Dodgers, go ahead. What do you got? What do you think, Keon? What do you think? Last year, 111 wins in the regular season.
I mean, they'll probably be around 100.
Okay.
Just because it just feels like this is a retool year for them.
Okay, Ralph.
I don't know about a retool.
Not rebuild. Like like in terms of like because they want to go after Ohtani next year.
They dump money to go after Ohtani is what they've done.
Trey Turner's gone. Justin Turner's gone. Cody Bellinger's gone. Tyler Anderson's gone. Craig Kimbrell, all gone.
And they still, in my opinion, probably have one of the best pitching staffs in the game. I'm going to say they probably gave him a number of 98.
96 and a half.
Okay.
That's what they have at 96 and a half. And the Astros number one at 96 and a half.
Yeah, I see the Dodgers
having lost Justin Verlander, which I don't think is a big loss for them. Their farm team, they've got so many horses down there in the minor leagues that could come up and replace Justin Verlander. Okay, yeah, the guy is a World Series champion, Cy Young Award winner, all that. I understand that, but look, he's got some age on him now, man. Got some age on him.
Yeah,
and he's now in the New York Mets uniform. I'd rather go with youth, a young arm. That's going to help me. Plus, I don't have to eat that enormous contract that he had.
I wonder what they have the Yankees at.
The Yankees are at 95 and a half. One behind the Dodgers and the Houston Astros. And the Braves, for what it's worth, a 95 and a half. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back on this date in Big Georgia sports history, you're listening to the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brett Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
The NBA entering the All-Star break, and the Boston Celtics, who lead the Eastern Conference by a half game over Milwaukee, are the betting favorites to win the NBA championship at plus 280. The Bucks, who entered the break on a 12-game win streak, are second behind the Celtics at plus 430 to win it all. The Phoenix Suns, who recently acquired Kevin Durant, are the favorites out of the West at plus 480. The Denver Nuggets, who lead the Western Conference, plus 750. The Clippers are plus 1,200, the third best team out of the West to claim the championship. Philadelphia out of the East, plus 1,400. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Deb's constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating kept giving her grief. She talked to her doctor to get some relief. Deb had irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, which was a start. Saying yes to Linzess helped her do her part.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
FanDuel Sportsbook is here to help you make every moment more for all your favorite sports and all your favorite teams. Right now, new customers can get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up by going to FanDuel.com/Dale1580 to place your first bet, and FanDuel will give you up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's no better place to bet every major sport than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. So go to FanDuel.com/Dale1580, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started with your no sweat first bet up to $1,000. You must be 21 or older, present in Arizona, first online real money wager only, $10 deposit required, refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
With LifeWell, help is here to support our community with counseling, housing services, and addiction treatment. We focus on adults and young adults with financial need. Learn more at lifewell.us and join our team to make a difference in the lives of others. We are hiring counselors, nursing staff, psychiatrists, and more. Start a career of hope, health, and healing at lifewell.us. This message is sponsored by LifeWell and a Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust COVID Response Grant.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
It's the return of Big East basketball on the Fanatic as the Seton Hall Pirates travel to take on the UConn Huskies Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Listen to all the action live from premier games and conference showdowns, high-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball, all in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
You know, we've talked a lot about many different sports today on the program, and FanDuel Sportsbook here to help you make every moment more with all your favorite sports and your favorite teams. Right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up by going to FanDuel.com/Randy1580. Place your first bet, and FanDuel will give you up to a $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. They've got great promotions. They got something going on all the time. The app is safe and secure, and it's really easy to set up. Took me about 90 seconds. As a matter of fact, when we started last January, I over a year ago, I during one of the breaks that we have, and we don't have long commercial breaks. I think it was about
a 2-minute break, I set up my FanDuel account and I funded it. Took me about 90 seconds, maybe. So it's easy to set up. There's all sorts of ways for you to win. And they've got same game parlays. They've got same game parlays already made up, so you can jump in on those. All the sports you could want to bet on, and you don't have to bet, $50 or $100 or $200, whatever. I mean, if you got it, do it. But if you don't, if you're like me, hell, I have fun. I put $1 down or a couple of bucks here, maybe $5 here, and I've been winning and losing. I kind of broke even last year, so. I'm not sad about what I've done at all. And when you win, you get paid fast. And I can attest to that. The times that I won, my account was updated right away. No better place to bet every major sport than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and get started with your no sweat first bet up to $1,000. Must be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 14 days after you get them. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. As we continue on till 6 o'clock, CK says, let's talk. And then he's got like DOLODGRS. Dodgers. No, it's a DOLODGERS. Dologers. Dologers.
Well, that's the drunk version.
Let's talk Dodgers.
There you go. That's good.
Fighting Wampus says the Oakland A's have a good excuse why they're going to finish dead last in the MLB this year. Their stadium situation is horrendous.
Yep.
They have no revenue coming in to be able to pay their players. Not sure at what the Nationals' issues is.
Oh, they're just cheap. Like the Lerners have the money. They're like one of the top 5 richest owners in the sport. They just don't like spending it. Unless you can guarantee at the end of the season a championship, they don't want to spend it.
So if the good people of Oakland are not willing to support this team, and if the owner cannot afford to pay the players, why can't Major League Baseball do something about that to get a more lucrative ownership group in there to help this team grow and move this team to a place that will be supportive, like Henderson, Nevada?
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen. I think the A's will wind up in Vegas. I think that's part of this. I think is all a master plan to get them to Vegas. I think in the next couple of years, you're going to see them move there. They're talking about building that ballpark out there. I think it'd be a good fit in Vegas, and they can start putting money behind them. I think they almost want to do bad right now, just to get out of there personally.
So maybe that's what this owner is doing. He's, he's not putting into this team because he knows get a $4 billion payout or something.
Yep, I think so.
All right, 888-368-1580. Blissful Hayes says he'd rather stick with Biombo, Bismack, and Jokic Landale than that worthless Kevin Love. Well,
just not seeing the value.
Kind of glad he's not our GM, though.
I can see that. Yeah,
especially you calling a guy on our team Jokic. I mean,
I like Jock Landale. I like Biombo, and that's the reason why.
I mean,
when we talked about it, the player you probably have to move on from is Ish Wainwright. You wouldn't move on from Biombo because I think Biombo's got value. There's stuff that he can give you Kevin Love can't, like defense. And I would say a similar thing for Landale. But I think that neither of those guys has won a championship as part of a big three. And I think like that kind of mentality, that kind of experience, that you have to have those guys in a locker room if you want to be successful.
Yeah. All right, 888-368-1580. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time once again for Keon Rose's college basketball dancing party, where this is the part of the show we don our platform shoes and our bell-bottom jeans. Ralph, get that disco ball swinging there. And let's get down to it as Keon Rose breaks down the latest NCAA basketball rankings. Just came out. Alabama, #1. Houston, #2. Purdue, #3. They lost again last night.
What's happening in the top three, Keon Rose? Do you see Purdue falling even farther when the new rankings come out?
I mean, they will. They absolutely will. They were, a dominant force all season long. They still are one of the best teams in the country, but the losses have been concerning lately, and not just the losses, but how it is that they're losing. They've had pretty good guard play all year long, and then all of a sudden, they can't shoot. And I don't know if it's just a cold spell, or if somebody, the hot shooting of earlier in the year, we're starting to just see them kind of average out. I don't know which one it is. But when you're shooting just 15% from three, as they have been, the last couple of games, like that's going to kill you. And it doesn't matter if you have a potential, best player in the country and Zach Edey at center. If you don't have the shooting ability, I mean, we've seen teams with dominant centers go into the NCAA tournament and then just get torn to pieces because the guards don't show up. I think Purdue needs to get that particular part of their game back on track, or they're going to keep falling in this top 25.
So riddle me this, Batman. Houston is 23-2.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama's 22-3.
Well, 24-2 now, but yeah.
Well, okay. But I mean, I'm looking at but anyway, Alabama was 3 last week, and they frog leaped Houston to move to number 1. Why didn't Houston move to number 1?
I think just because of how dominant Alabama's been. I think Alabama leapfrogged Houston, I think in large part because they played tougher competition. And that's kind of where they're getting a little bit of the boost there. Is you don't think of the SEC as being a good basketball conference, but Tennessee is really good. Kentucky is solid this year. They're not as good as they have been in years past. Bruce Pearl down at Auburn, they win a lot of basketball games. So like the SEC is a solid quality basketball conference where it's not that, Houston isn't playing tough opponents, but I think Alabama's playing them more consistent.
I don't see Auburn on this top 25 list anywhere. And I don't know.
Yeah, they're not, I don't think they're a top 25 team, but they are a good team.
All right. The next 3 in the lineup here at 4, 5, and 6, nationally ranked number 4, UCLA. Number 5 is the Kansas Jayhawks. And number 6 is your Longhorns from Texas. Longhorns fell one because they had a loss. But, Kansas, UCLA, they've been climbing rapidly. Kansas, the big mover out of these 3, with they've jumped 4 spots since last week.
Yeah, and I expect a lot out of Kansas. I think that, they're starting to play their best basketball right now, had some stumbles early. But, they were able to win on Tuesday against Oklahoma State. So I imagine that they're going to probably stay either right where they are or continue going up in the top 25. They have a great player in Grady Dick. I think he scored 26 points Tuesday. They can just fill up the basket. I mean, and Bill Self, I mean, I think that his resume, as much as, he got caught up in that pay for play scandal too, when he has the guys out on the floor that he really wants out there, he can coach them up. And I think that that's why Kansas has been doing well. UCLA obviously has a similar thing going on. Jamie Jaquez Jr. also had like a 26-point game, 9 rebounds on Thursday. I expect UCLA to probably move up as well. I think that both of those teams are trending in the right direction. I think Texas is kind of flatlining a little bit. It's been kind of one step forward, one step back for them. They've got to get back to what they were doing earlier in the season when they were being more consistent, when they were beating tough teams, when they were winning close games. They've kind of dropped a few lately and against good teams, but still, I think if you want to have national title aspirations like this Texas team started the year having, got to win those close games against tough competition.
All right, the next 4, rounding out our top 10, not going to do all 25, just the top 10. Virginia is up 1 from last week. U of A falling 4 spots. I'll ask you about that. Baylor's up 5. They seem to be on the move. And Tennessee dropped 4 spots. Start anywhere you want to. It's Virginia, Arizona, Baylor, and Tennessee. That's 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, I don't remember who Arizona lost to over the weekend, but they made up for it this week. They played a game Thursday, Utah, 88-62 win in that particular game. They've been dominant all year. They have moments where they can be inconsistent, but they haven't lost a ton of basketball games. So I don't expect them to drop, further. In fact, I think they'll probably jump up maybe a spot or two in the upcoming top 25. I think that Tennessee taking a little bit of a tumble is just connected to the fact that they're having trouble scoring the basketball all of a sudden. The defense is there. You play basketball for Rick Barnes, you play defense. That's what you do. But when you're struggling to put points on the board, when your point guard is there scoring 15 and he's the leading scorer in the game, I don't know that you're going to necessarily be an upper echelon team like that. And Virginia moving up. Virginia plays a style of basketball that wins. Is it ugly? Is it hideous and hard to watch and boring and all that stuff? Oh yeah, it's all of those things. But they win, so I have not a whole lot of complaining to do about them, except for just how much they make my eyes bleed when I have to watch them play basketball.
All right, what's your team to watch this week? Make it quick. We're up against a break. What's your team to watch this week?
Yeah, I would probably say, keep an eye out for Marquette. I think that Marquette's been playing really good basketball lately. I know they probably dropped down in the rankings, if I remember last time, but they are a really good team. I think Shaka Smart has gone in there, and I think that is the kind of program that he likes to be in control of, and they've been incredibly fun. I would say keep an eye out for Marquette, because they're going to make some noise going into their conference tournament, and I think they're going to make some noise in the NCAA tournament overall.
All right, that's this week's edition of Keon Rose's college basketball dance party. When we come back on this date in Big Georgia sports history, we've got some more stuff to talk about. Take more of your texts at 888-368-1580. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Apply stop to opt out. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ISSA online for details.
Tired of the 9-to-5 grind? Looking for something different that's flexible, fulfilling, and pays well? How'd you like to get paid to work out? Now you can with ISSA, the global leader in personal fitness certification.
There's a huge demand for certified personal trainers right now. And once you get ISSA certified, they guarantee you'll get a job. Trainers can make as much as $200 an hour. Yes, I said $200 an hour. And with ISSA, you can be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 now to get started for free. You do everything at your own pace and 100% online.
Pursue your passion in specializations like yoga, nutrition, or strength training. Live life on your terms. Get certified and train like you want. Start your own business, work at a gym, or make health and fitness your side hustle. Whatever works for you. Just don't wait.
Get started today and be certified in as little as 4 weeks. Just text BENCH to 323232 right now to get started for free. Text the word BENCH to 323232. Text BENCH to 323232.
FanDuel Sportsbook is here to help you make every moment more for all your favorite sports and all your favorite teams. And right now, new customers can get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Just sign up by going to FanDuel.com/Randy1580 to place your first bet. And FanDuel will give you up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. There's no better place to bet every major sport than on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. You must be 21 or older, present in Arizona. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. or text Next Step to 53342.
By now, you know that sound. It's the sound of the Home Depot. But what about those sounds? Those are the sounds of a new Samsung laundry set with extra large capacity, serving up a powerful yet gentle clean in just 28 minutes, making this the sound of savings on the best appliance brands. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Get up to 25% off select appliances, including Samsung. Ends March 1st. Pricing valid February 9th through March 1st, 2023. Gas Dry Extra, US only. See store or online for details.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender as we hit the home stretch here on for this week and today. Heading till 6 o'clock tonight. This is kind of disturbing. Taking your text at 888-368-1580 in a moment on the state and Big Georgia sports history. And so we are honored to have Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar on the program today. And he's also not only a Laker fan, but he's also a Dodger fan.
That's right.
And I've been saving this for you to be on the show. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts denies new sign stealing accusations, confirms MLB investigation. Have you heard this?
I just started hearing about this the other day. I'm not too familiar with it at this point. I need to read through it.
Let me fill you in.
Yeah. I kind of thought you could.
Dodger manager Dave Roberts denied new allegations that the organization was running an illegal sign stealing system during the 2017 and 2018 seasons. Roberts addressed the allegations, which came in Evan Dilich's new book, Winning Fixes Everything, at the Cactus League Media Day Wednesday in Phoenix. Said he hasn't read the book other than a few published excerpts, but he denied the accusations from the anonymous source in it. Dodgers were accused of stealing signs in various ways in the book, including setting up cameras in center field at Dodger Stadium during the World Series. Those cameras were allegedly connected to an iPad in their dugout. One source said former Dodger outfielder Jock Peterson at one point ran into the visiting video room to find teammate Chase Utley sitting with an MLB official and asked if he'd obtained the Red Sox signs during the 2018 World Series.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of call BS on this. It sounds to me like a hater that wrote a book that wanted to get back at them. Maybe the guy's an Astro fan, so he's trying to find a way to get back at them.
Oh, an Astro fan, huh?
Very possible. But if you saw the way that Dodgers kind of played against Boston, they did a really poor job of stealing those signs because Boston did a good job on a good number on the Dodgers. So I just don't see that. I don't see that organization even playing in that world at all. It's just no way.
Now, Ralph, we both of us being baseball fans, we know there are ways that you can legally, quote unquote, steal signs.
But yeah, not cameras. I mean,
but they're talking in this thing. They're talking about the whole Astro. They've gone to Astros level on this one. Yeah. With spy cameras here and there and everywhere, and
every team will do everything they can to try to steal a sign. What the Astros did was just blatant. I mean, it was so bad, and they got what they deserved. I think they should still lose that championship, but the Dodgers are going to do everything they can to try to steal signs because that's what you do when you're playing baseball. But you're not going to put cameras up and do the illegal things. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there is nothing against stealing signs manually, if you will, or if you have a guy on second base, and he's really good at picking up signs. Yeah. And then using a signal of his own, whether it's touching the helmet for fastball or brushing across the chest for curveball or whatever it might be. And it's up to the teams to teach their catchers. I mean, when I was playing high school ball, there was a team we played, and their catcher was horrible. He was not giving signs correctly. He was way down here next to the dirt, flashing signs. We're sitting on the bench just writing down the signs because the guy's hand was down here. He might as well have just shouted it to the pitcher, throw a fastball,
when I coached high school too, I mean, I could read the coaches that were calling the pitches because they were so bad and they didn't know how to hide it well enough. And I would flash that to my hitters.
Sure.
They knew it was coming. I mean,
and
if you're that stupid, you deserve it.
Well, and that's it. That's all part of the game. But using technology, that's
different.
No está bien.
No, and I don't think that happened. Those are just haters hating. And I get that. A lot of haters.
So you just think that this is unfounded and it has nothing to do. And I don't think Davey Roberts, I mean, I've watched him since he was a player. I watched him. This guy's always seems to be an above board guy. I mean, seems to be, a class individual. I can't believe he would be involved in something like that.
I don't see that. And I agree with you about Dave Roberts. He's definitely he's an upstanding guy, and that's not happening. Dodgers that organization is just not going to do stuff like that. And if they found out it was happening, I think they'd come down pretty hard on whoever was trying it. That's just not who they are.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Right.
We were talking earlier this week about Vince Scully.
Love that guy.
Yeah, we
Miss him.
as a matter of fact, Keon expertly pulled up with it at the time that Vince Scully read a grocery list. I mean, it was
riveting.
He should have won an award just for that.
Yeah.
CK says, Keon, your college basketball dance party was cool and all, but I want an XFL. Let's hear about the Seattle Seahorses.
Dragons. Seattle Dragons. I have a question for Keon.
Sure.
USC, they're on the bubble right now. In or out?
I think they're probably in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because if we're going to go off of strength of schedule, which I prefer, I would say in. Just if obviously they keep on winning, maybe make some noise in the Pac-12
Listen,
tournament.
all they got to do is maybe finish either win or take second in the tournament. I mean, that's going to speak volumes to them about them, about their resume.
But if I had to guess, I'd say in.
Yeah, I think so too, but it'll be close.
All right, it's time. Wait, I got to get over here. Hang on. Let me set this up here.
Sorry, I had a mini heart attack just now because I turned to the TV and I saw Albert Pujols in a basketball uniform, and I realized, they're doing the celebrity All-Star game today. It's confusing. Wow. It's very weird. Anyway, whatever. I got distracted.
Albert Pujols in a basketball uniform?
He's playing basketball right now on the ESPN.
Good God.
Not well, but he's playing. He's out there. He just shot some free throws badly, but he's there.
He's in a basketball uniform.
He's in a basketball uniform.
That can't be pretty. It's time, everybody, for on this date in Big Georgia's sports history. Wow, I can't even. Back in the year 1990, Herb Rayborn, the New York Yankees director of Latin American operations, signed an unknown amateur free agent named Mariano Rivera, an athletic 20-year-old who had an effortless pitching motion, but a less than average fastball with a modest $3,000 contract is what he signed. The future all-time Major League saves leader had no formal training as a pitcher, having hurled just for the first time 2 weeks prior to being scouted at the team's tryout camp in Panama City. Wow. On this date in 1990, Herb Rayborn. Didn't Herb Rayborn, wasn't he also a TV game show host? Dun, 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 dun. Here's your host, Herb Rayborn.
Definitely got the name, but no.
Wasn't it him?
I don't think that was him.
It's time for Wild Cards with Herb Rayborn. Wild Cards. So we got a little time here. I got some stories. I think I'm going to spin the wheel of sports. Well, this is interesting. I guess this is a way to deter people from stealing from your car. Bloomington, Indiana is the dateline. A man accused of arson told Bloomington police that he set his car on fire to discourage people from stealing from it. Police responded to a report of a suspicious person just after midnight in the parking lot of the Crawford Apartments on South Henderson Street, February 12th. An officer said he found a man standing next to a 1998 Buick, and the car was on fire. The man, identified as Austin Bristow, 26, reportedly told an officer that the vehicle was his, and he set it on fire to, quote, stop people from stealing items inside of it. As police were talking to Bristow, the car became engulfed in flames, and the fire caused several small explosions. Bristow reportedly said, I hoped the explosions would be bigger.
Oh.
Nice.
Court documents said Bristow started the fire by cutting the fuel line, dumping gas and oil onto the car, and setting a bandana on fire, then throwing it into the trunk.
That's one way to do it.
Austin stated that if there was nothing left of the vehicle, then there would be nothing left to steal.
That's a good point.
Also true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Conversely, you could just take everything out of the vehicle
Bristow was arrested on a preliminary charge of arson. When searching him, they found several packaged syringes and a yellow powder he identified as benzodiazepine.
Oh, benzos. He was
Yeah.
on benzos.
Yeah.
That just explains just about everything there. That's
He was booked on arson plus additional charges of unlawful possession of a syringe, hypodermic needle, and controlled substance. Spin the damn wheel.
Yeah.
You know, quarterbacks need to stick together, right? NFL quarterbacks need to stick together. And we've all been talking about Aaron Rodgers' darkness retreat. Well, surprisingly, Aaron Rodgers has another supporter for his darkness retreat, though it's someone who doesn't want him to retire when it ends. During a weekly episode on his Let's Go podcast with Jim Gray, Tom Brady addressed Rodgers' retreat and said that everyone has their, quote, unique way to process the season, end quote, adding that however he's going about it, good for him. If this Rodgers retreat involves a 4-day plunge into nothing but darkness and psychotropic medications.
yeah, everybody has their own way. Some of us go to Cancun and drink Mai Tais. Some of us hallucinate heavily while on DMT in the darkness.
I mean, he is from Berkeley, so.
Well, yeah, he's been a hippie his whole life, hasn't he?
Good point.
Yeah.
He grew
That's
up
the
in
reason why
Northern California, right?
every time Aaron Rodgers dated somebody, everybody was just like, wow, look at how this woman is making Aaron Rodgers weird. Aaron Rodgers was the guy making every woman he dated stranger.
Absolutely.
That is a fact.
Yep.
Tom Brady says, quote, and you know what? I think we all need to get off our phone a little bit more. I think we all need to get away from the TV a little bit more. I think we all need a little more nature and a little more silence and a little more peace, end quote.
Tom doesn't believe a single damn word he's saying. Not one solitary word. Because I agree with what he's saying, but what he's saying doesn't make any sense in context of what it is that we are discussing right here. You could do all of those things by just going into the woods, going outside and playing a little pickup basketball with your friends or go out to the golf course. You do not have to plunge yourself into darkness with powerful psychedelics.
Don't we need to play a little pan flute a little more? Maybe dress in one of those outfits and dance around in the forest with the animals?
Of course, have a nice little shaman ritual. What are we talking about, Tom?
Don't we all just need a little more Christmas? Probably get in trouble for
Yeah,
that.
you're definitely going to get us in trouble for that one.
Yeah, we got. I think we have time here. It's one more spin of the old Wheel of Sports. Well, this is an interesting story that may have you looking at chickens a little differently. A man from Ireland who was in remission after being diagnosed with cancer died after he was attacked by a chicken in his home. An inquest hearing into his cause of death reportedly revealed. The guy beats cancer, he's in remission, and the damn chicken kills him. During a hearing, it was said that Jasper Krause suffered the attack from a Brahma chicken. I thought they were only bulls, but apparently the Brahmas are also chickens. On April 28th, according to the Irish Examiner.
If I die and a chicken did it, I just want you to put on my tombstone, he tried. Don't
He tried. That's all.
try.
He tried.
Because you know what? How much credit am I supposed to deserve for my life if I get taken out by a chicken?
Not much.
I agree.
Brown's daughter entered the home. Krause's daughter entered the home. She said Krause was lying on the ground in a pool of his own blood after being injured on the back of one of his legs.
I mean, how drunk was this guy?
He didn't say anything about alcohol. They just said the guy
you
was
have
Irish.
You have to assume because how else do you explain taking an L from a chicken?
Yeah.
Big George setting me straight. That wasn't Herb Rayburn. That was Gene Rayburn. Hosted the match game. Sorry about that. Yeah. Colts fan Dan, Gene Rayburn. Yeah. Heavy Metal Maniacs. The show host was Gene Rayburn. Okay. Thanks.
Did the chicken get his Achilles and then take the carotid when he fell over?
I don't know. That's it for this week. This has been the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best